Chapter 1072. The gazes and attention of all the forces of the great Gan Lord dynasty were gathered on the front lines. Zhao Feng only left behind a few intelligence agents on the battlefield and called the others back to develop the Hall of Gods. The upper echelon members of the Hall of Gods, including Bai Qingyue, Supreme Emperor Dark Knight, Old Monster Su, the Black-Armored Sacred Lord, and company, didn't question Zhao Feng's decision. On top of that, Zhao Feng entered seclusion to increase his strength so that he could explore the God Corpse in the future. In the ancient dream realm, Zhao Feng attacked the earth-shattering Raging Bull's race and enslaved the Sky-Fire Lightning Ape, obtaining a large amount of precious resources. Zhao Feng's left eye had the ability to duplicate resources, and it could duplicate resources until he squeezed out all the power of an ancient resource. In this seclusion, Zhao Feng focused on his cultivation and soul eye bloodline techniques. His cultivation could quickly close the gap between him and a sacred king, and he would have the ability to protect himself when facing a sacred king. Soul eye bloodline techniques were Zhao Feng's strongest killing move apart from the god-slaying arrow. Right now, Zhao Feng's soul intent had reached the late stages of the mystic light realm, and his soul eye bloodline techniques could deal some damage to sacred kings. The gaze of the God Eye and the God Eye disintegration could severely injure sacred kings. However, these two eye bloodline techniques had a flaw. When Zhao Feng used these two eye bloodline techniques, he couldn't divert too much attention to use other techniques. Since sacred lords all had clones, Zhao Feng's two eye bloodline techniques were much less effective. On the other hand, Zhao Feng's clone, Zhao Wang, wasn't strong enough right now and couldn't fight alongside Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng circulated the 10,000 divine thoughts technique and started to multitask. A portion of his thoughts cultivated the 5 elemental wind lightning technique and the golden Kuan's sacred lightning body. The 5 elemental wind lightning technique could be used to raise Zhao Feng's cultivation level, while the golden Kuan's sacred lightning body could increase Zhao Feng's physique's defense and strength, so he wouldn't be completely defenseless when facing a sage king. The other part of Zhao Feng's consciousness was used to cultivate some soul secret techniques, strengthen his soul, and research soul eye bloodline techniques. The last part of his consciousness was used by Zhao Feng to absorb the power of the thunder tribulation in the head. At the same time, Zhao Feng placed the other demigod tribulation head into the dimension of his left eye and duplicated it. If Zhao Feng's duplication ability had been awakened earlier, the power of the thunder test in the god's tribulation head might have been more. In this way, Zhao Feng's duplication would have been relatively cost-effective. Now, every time Zhao Feng duplicated a deity tribulation head, he could only obtain 5% of the lightning tribulation's power. Just like that, Zhao Feng entered seclusion in the forbidden grounds of the Hall of Gods while all the forces of the great Gan Lord dynasty focused their attention on the front lines. Only the Hall of Gods was able to use this chance to expand rapidly. 3 months later, Zhao Feng felt that the speed at which his cultivation advanced was extremely slow. This was because Zhao Feng had just broken through to the mystic light realm not long ago, and the precious resources in the ancient dream realm were less effective because he used them repeatedly. If that's the case, then I'll need you. A bright white crystal bead appeared in Zhao Feng's hand. It exuded a weak divine aura that caused the surrounding heaven-earth yuan qi to tremble in fear. Substandard god crystals were a luxury item for mystic light realm's sacred lords. Sacred lords usually used them when they broke through. Now that Zhao Feng was only at the initial stages of the mystic light realm, he was already using substandard god crystals to increase his cultivation. At the same time, Zhao Feng sucked a substandard god crystal into the dimension of his left eye and duplicated it. After all, Zhao Feng didn't have many substandard god crystals. Zhao Feng held the substandard god crystal in his hand and absorbed a surge of pure heaven-earth yuan qi into his body before returning to the sacred power whirlpool in his dantian. What a pure and high-level energy! Zhao Feng couldn't help but be overjoyed. The energy within the substandard god crystal almost didn't need Zhao Feng to purify it. He could use it directly. This was the first time Zhao Feng had used a substandard god crystal, and the high-level heaven-earth yuan qi within Zhao Feng's body was able to increase his cultivation. Furthermore, the energy within the substandard god crystal was extremely strong, and it could refine the sacred power whirlpool within Zhao Feng's body and increase the strength of Zhao Feng's mystic light sacred power. Just like that, Zhao Feng started to use substandard god crystals to help himself break through. If the sacred lords of the continent zone knew that Zhao Feng was wasting substandard god crystals like this and using them as a daily cultivation resource, they would probably spit out blood in anger. If I use substandard god crystals, I should be able to raise my cultivation to the early stages of the mystic light realm before exploring the god corpse. Zhao Feng started to think. This was the first time Zhao Feng had recklessly raised his cultivation without solidifying his foundation. However, the sacrifice he made for the fortune within the god corpse was worth it. Furthermore, Zhao Feng's left eye had the duplication ability, so he could use substandard god crystals at the same time. It was limitless, so Zhao Feng didn't need to worry about not having enough substandard god crystals. However, while Zhao Feng was duplicating, the yuan qi and I intent within his body were being rapidly expended. Therefore, during the duplication process, Zhao Feng needed to use many precious resources or rest for a period of time. In the dimension of the soul, Zhao Feng's thoughts spun as countless soul secret techniques and theories flashed through his mind. At the same time, Zhao Feng was also filtering through all the soul eye bloodline techniques and secret techniques that he had learned in the past. After thinking for a while, Zhao Feng understood that if he wanted to create a new eye bloodline technique that could severely injure mystic light realm's sacred kings, he couldn't focus on soul intent. In the past, Zhao Feng's fatal attacks mostly came from the symbols of God Tribulation Lightning. What if I used the symbols of God Tribulation Lightning as the main and the power of my soul as support? A thought appeared in Zhao Feng's mind. In the past, Zhao Feng's soul eye bloodline techniques used his soul power and eye intent as the main, and the God Tribulation Lightning as support. This was because all traditional soul eye bloodline techniques were like this. Just like that, Zhao Feng changed his thoughts and started to research new eye bloodline techniques using the symbols of God Tribulation Lightning as support. A month later, Zhao Feng realized that it was still extremely difficult to develop a new eye bloodline technique from this point of view. Therefore, Zhao Feng chose a shortcut and modified his original eye bloodline technique. In the end, Zhao Feng chose the Wind Lightning Eye Flame. The Wind Lightning Eye Flame was very practical, and as Zhao Feng's 5-elemental wind lightning technique grew, its power also grew. This was why Zhao Feng was able to use it until now. Zhao Feng felt that the process of modifying the Wind Lightning Eye Flame was extremely smooth. After all, Zhao Feng was extremely familiar with the Wind Lightning Eye Flame. 3 months later, Zhao Feng, who was in seclusion, suddenly opened his left eye, and a terrifying soul aura that contained the laws of destruction started to radiate from it. A ball of symbols of God Tribulation Lightning flashed in Zhao Feng's left eye. Each symbol contained a wisp of soul eye bloodline flame that eventually formed a ball of purple God Tribulation Lightning Soul Flame. Completed, Tribulation Lightning Eye Flame. A faint smile appeared on Zhao Feng's face. The completion of the Tribulation Lightning Eye Flame meant that Zhao Feng's control over the power of God Tribulation Lightning had reached another level. During this period of time, Zhao Feng duplicated 3 God Tribulation heads and completely absorbed the power of God Tribulation Lightning into his lightning soul body. At this moment, Zhao Feng had almost 4,000 God Tribulation Lightning symbols in his lightning soul body. If he gathered all of them and used the Tribulation Lightning Eye Flame, even Zhao Feng couldn't predict how strong it would be. Furthermore, the Tribulation Lightning Eye Flame was different from the Wind Lightning Eye Flame. The Tribulation Lightning Eye Flame was used on the soul, and it pursued extreme damage to the soul. Furthermore, the power of the Tribulation Lightning Eye Flame was related to the number of God Tribulation Lightning symbols. Therefore, as long as Zhao Feng kept duplicating the God Tribulation heads and absorbing the God Tribulation Lightning symbols, he would be able to increase the power of the Tribulation Lightning Eye Flame. After completing the Tribulation Lightning Eye Flame, Zhao Feng ended his seclusion and temporarily stopped cultivating. After 7 months of seclusion, Zhao Feng was able to multitask and complete the new Soul Eye Bloodline technique, but his cultivation wasn't able to break through to the early stages of the mystic light realm even with the help of a large amount of substandard God crystals. Luckily, Zhao Feng's left eye could duplicate substandard God crystals, or else Zhao Feng would have used up all of his substandard god crystals already. Furthermore, Zhao Feng had been using the duplication ability of his left eye during the 7 months of seclusion. Zhao Feng's current state wasn't very good, so Zhao Feng needed some time to recover. After exiting seclusion, Zhao Feng used the Dark Heart Seal to contact Bai Qingyue. Master, the divine power on the front lines has completely disappeared. The experts of the continent zone can now go 50,000 miles underground. Bai Qingyue reported the situation to Zhao Feng. They can now go 50,000 miles underground? Zhao Feng was surprised. The speed at which the divine power was disappearing was faster than Zhao Feng had imagined. Time waited for no one. Zhao Feng needed to break through to the early stages of the mystic light realm as soon as possible, or else he really wouldn't be able to enter the God Corpse to search for fortune. Master, the Imperials are here. Bai Qingyue's voice sounded in Zhao Feng's mind right at this moment. Imperials? Zhao Feng's eyes saw through everything and saw 2 Imperials outside the Hall of Gods. One of them was actually Sacred King Feather Spirit. There was also an initial stage Mystic Light Realm Imperial Sacred Lord following Sacred King Feather Spirit. Sacred King Feather Spirit is here at this time? Zhao Feng had a bad feeling. The forbidden divine light on the battlefield attracted the attention of all the forces in the continent zone. Almost all the sacred kings were guarding the battlefield and weren't willing to leave. However, Sacred King Feather Spirit had come to the Hall of Gods at this time. Furthermore, Zhao Feng didn't have much of a relationship with Sacred King Feather Spirit, so Zhao Feng quickly knew why Sacred King Feather Spirit was here. Senior Feather Spirit, come in. Zhao Feng messaged and invited Sacred King Feather Spirit into the hall he was in. Which Sacred King Feather Spirit instantly brought the other Sacred Lord into the hall Zhao Feng was in. In an instant, the laws of heaven and earth nearby were affected by Sacred King Feather Spirit's actions. Zhao Feng, I'm here because of the 13th prince's death. Sacred King Feather Spirit had a cold expression and a righteous expression. Sacred Lord Gonghuang can testify that I didn't leave the stronghold that day. Zhao Feng said with a faint smile. Zhao Feng, don't try to deny it. You have a substandard god weapon like the Misty Spatial World. As long as you mark the 13th prince's path of return, you can come back directly. The expression of the initial stage Mystic Light Realm Sacred Lord next to Sacred Lord Gonghuang turned cold as he spoke. This initial stage Mystic Light Realm Sacred Lord was the grandfather of the current Sacred Empress. Sacred King Feather Spirit personally came to investigate this matter after the Sacred Emperor, Sacred Empress, and the green-robed elder asked him to. Furthermore, we found the aura of wind lightning where the 13th prince was killed. The green-robed elder revealed a wicked smile. Chapter 1073. Furthermore, we found a faint aura of wind lightning at the place where the 13th prince was killed. The green-robed elder revealed a deadly smile. Even Mystic Light Realm Sacred Lords wouldn't be able to easily sense that faint aura of wind lightning. Only Mystic Light Realm Sacred Kings that had reached the peak of control over the laws of heaven and earth would be able to sense it. It was obviously Sacred King Feather Spirit who had discovered this. In reality, the Sacred Queen's target was Zhao Feng from the very beginning. Firstly, the 9th prince didn't have the ability to do so back then. Secondly, although Zhao Yufei wasn't willing to marry the 13th prince, she wouldn't kill him and put the entire Duanmu family in danger. Thirdly, Nan Gongxing and the demigod Kuan Yun had never met the 13th prince before. Even if they were the ones who killed him, the mastermind would be Zhao Feng. Apart from these people, there were no other experts nearby that could threaten the 13th prince's group. Aura of wind lightning? What does that mean? Zhao Feng had a calm expression as he asked with a faint smile. In reality, Zhao Feng's heart dropped. He had just broken through to the Mystic Light Realm not long ago, so he didn't have enough control over his intent. It was inevitable that he would leave behind some clues. From the looks of it, this Sacred King Feather Spirit wasn't a normal Mystic Light Realm Sacred King. He was still able to sense the aura of wind lightning after such a long time. What does that mean? The green-robed elder's expression froze. He didn't expect Zhao Feng to be so calm and have a smile on his face at a time like this. The remnant aura of wind lightning means that the assassin used the laws of wind lightning. Furthermore, you have a substandard god weapon like the misty spatial world that allows you to travel back and forth, so assassinating the 13th prince would be extremely easy. Apparently, you also have the spiritual flesh snow jade lotus root. It's not impossible for you to use it to create a fake body and trick sacred Lord Gonghuang. All in all, you're the only one who could have done this assassination. The green-robed elder roared in anger. Ha, you really know how to imagine. Zhao Feng laughed and didn't admit it. Zhao Feng, tell the truth. Sacred King Feather Spirit finally spoke at this moment. They had come to interrogate Zhao Feng this time, but Zhao Feng was acting as if he didn't care, as if he didn't know what was going on. An invisible pressure suddenly surged towards Zhao Feng. I didn't kill him. Zhao Feng denied it directly. You can't get rid of your suspicion. Sacred King Feather Spirit furrowed his eyebrows. Actually, the death of a prince of the Great Qian dynasty was not a big deal. In the past, the first prince, the second prince, and the other princes also died accidentally. At most, they would send a few normal mystic light realms to investigate. If there were no results, they could only give up. However, this time, the Sacred Emperor and Sacred Empress had personally asked him to investigate this matter. Furthermore, the green-robed elder next to him had some ties with him in the past. Otherwise, Sacred King Feather Spirit wouldn't have bothered with these small things. However, since Sacred King Feather Spirit had made a move, he had to investigate this matter. He also cared about the divine power on the front lines, so time was of the essence and he didn't want to talk to Zhao Feng. Furthermore, a measly Grand Elder of a 3-star power was only at the initial stages of the mystic light realm. He didn't put him in his eyes at all. Senior Feather Spirit, what else do you want to investigate? Zhao Feng looked at Sacred King Feather Spirit and asked. Zhao Feng had to be careful when facing Sacred King Feather Spirit. After all, the other party was an upper echelon member of the Grand Imperial Hall. If it was a Sacred King from another force, Zhao Feng wouldn't be scared at all. One had to know that Zhao Feng's duplication ability could duplicate substandard god-slaying arrows. Zhao Feng would be able to put up a fight against a Sacred King if he used all his hidden cards. Search his soul and everything will be clear. Sacred King Feather Spirit had a calm expression as he looked down at Zhao Feng with a superior gaze. The green-robed elder next to him had a terrifying smile. From his point of view, the culprit was definitely Zhao Feng. Once Zhao Feng was proven to be the assassin, then the green-robed elder and the Sacred Empress would have a way to kill Zhao Feng and drag the 9th prince into this matter. Although the 13th prince was dead, he and the Sacred Empress still had to take revenge. They didn't want to see the 9th prince become the next emperor. Sacred King Feather Spirit, don't push your luck. Zhao Feng's expression froze, and his polite tone disappeared. Sacred King Feather Spirit's words meant that he didn't put Zhao Feng in his eyes at all. Putting aside the fact that his soul might be searched, Zhao Feng's soul and memories would be damaged to a certain degree. Furthermore, Zhao Feng had a lot of secrets, and Sacred King Feather Spirit would probably become greedy if he revealed any of them. I'm already being very polite to you. Sacred King Feather Spirit's expression became grim. Zhao Feng's words made him very unhappy. If it wasn't for the fact that the Hall of Gods was extremely big and Zhao Feng's potential wasn't normal, Sacred King Feather Spirit would have used force right from the start and used the soul-searching technique on Zhao Feng. Please leave. Zhao Feng asked him to leave. Now that the power of gods had appeared on the battlefield, the strongest battle power that the Imperials could summon was a Sacred King. Furthermore, the strongest demigod experts on the continent wouldn't care about the life and death of a prince. Furthermore, this was the Hall of Gods. Zhao Feng even dared to offend 9 Darkness Palace, so why would he be scared of a Sacred King? As long as Zhao Feng didn't severely injure or kill Sacred King Feather Spirit, the demigod experts of the Grand Imperial Hall wouldn't come here to do anything to Zhao Feng. You refuse a toast only to be forced to drink a forfeit. I'll teach you a lesson today. Sacred King Feather Spirit was instantly enraged. From Zhao Feng's actions, it was obvious that Zhao Feng was the one who tried to assassinate the 13th prince. Sacred King Feather Spirit was also very interested in the treasures that Zhao Feng had on him, such as the misty spatial world and many resources from the divine illusion dimension. Rumors also said that Zhao Feng had a god-slaying arrow. The elder in green robes was instantly overjoyed. He didn't know where Zhao Feng got the courage to go against Sacred King Feather Spirit, but Zhao Feng was dead for sure now. How dare you! Countless bolts of white lightning flashed in Zhao Feng's left eye, and a surge of destructive soul intent appeared along with a powerful undulation of soul power. Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye sensed that Sacred King Feather Spirit was about to attack, so he attacked first. Tribulation Lightning Eye Flame. Zhao Feng used the new eye bloodline technique that he had just developed, the Tribulation Lightning Eye Flame, without hesitation. A ball of twisting god Tribulation Lightning symbols burned like fire and landed on Sacred King Feather Spirit's soul with a terrifying soul aura. Sacred King Feather Spirit, who was about to attack, was instantly stopped by Zhao Feng. Arg! Sacred King Feather Spirit felt as if his soul had fallen into a hell of lightning and fire, and it was being struck by 10,000 bolts of lightning that could destroy everything. His soul continued to be damaged, and waves of bone-piercing pain exploded in Sacred King Feather Spirit's mind. The elder in green robes wasn't within Zhao Feng's attack range, but his soul could still feel the terrifying power of God Tribulation Lightning. The elder in green robes trembled as he looked at Zhao Feng as if he was looking at a monster. Please go back. At this moment, Zhao Feng spoke once more. Zhao Feng. Sacred King Feather Spirit slowly recovered, but his heart was filled with fear. He was caught off guard by Zhao Feng's soul eye bloodline technique, and it severely damaged his soul. His soul intent was extremely weak. If Zhao Feng used this technique again, it might cause irreparable damage to his soul, and he wouldn't be able to recover for at least several dozen millennia. When that happened, he might be severely affected when he searched for the treasures underground, so Sacred King Feather Spirit had to go back and completely recover from the damage to his soul. However, what he didn't understand was how Zhao Feng could release such a powerful attack when he was only at the initial stages of the Mystic Light Realm. At this moment, Sacred King Feather Spirit finally looked at Zhao Feng with caution. Zhao Feng, you're very skilled. Sacred King Feather Spirit's expression became grim. Let's go. Sacred King Feather Spirit and the elder in green robes left the Hall of Gods. Senior Feather Spirit, are we just going to let Zhao Feng go like this? The elder in green robes asked after leaving the Hall of Gods. Although it was hard to believe, Sacred King Feather Spirit, who was guarding the Great Gone Imperial Palace, had indeed been defeated by Zhao Feng. I didn't expect Zhao Feng to have grown to such a level already. The elder in green robes sighed in his heart. He didn't expect Zhao Feng to be able to force a sacred king away. It would be very hard for him to take revenge now. The eyes of the other upper echelon members of the Grand Imperial Hall are all on the front lines right now. It won't be too late to deal with him after the treasures underground are explored. Also, it would be even better if Zhao Feng dares to come and explore the treasures underground. Sacred King Feather Spirit gave a wicked smile and quickly left. Sacred King Feather Spirit obviously wouldn't tell anyone that he was severely injured by Zhao Feng's soul eye bloodline technique. If Zhao Feng also came to explore the treasures underground, Sacred King Feather Spirit would be able to rope in some sacred lords that he had a good relationship with and take revenge. Within the Hall of Gods, Master, you forced Sacred King Feather Spirit away? Bai Qingyue asked in surprise. Sacred King Feather Spirit was an upper echelon member of the Grand Imperial Hall. The Grand Imperial Hall was the ruler of the Great Gone Lord Dynasty, and it was the strongest 4-star power in the Great Gone Lord Dynasty. It's nothing, Zhao Feng said simply. Sacred King Feather Spirit alone couldn't represent the entire Grand Imperial Hall. Zhao Feng wasn't afraid of a sacred king. In this world, strength was everything, and strength was everything. The power of the Tribulation Lightning Eye Flame is not bad. Zhao Feng smiled happily. Zhao Feng released all of his God Tribulation Lightning symbols just now and heavily injured Sacred King Feather Spirit's soul. Sacred King Feather Spirit didn't dare to attack Zhao Feng anymore. It uses up too many God Tribulation Lightning symbols. Zhao Feng evaluated. The Tribulation Lightning Eye flame just now used up almost all of Zhao Feng's God Tribulation Lightning symbols. If Zhao Feng wanted to use the Tribulation Lightning Eye flame a second time, he would need to wait for the power of God Tribulation Lightning to recover. On the other hand, the Tribulation Lightning Eye flame didn't use up any soul power. Even if Zhao Feng's soul intent was extremely weak, he could still use the Tribulation Lightning Eye flame. Zhao Feng started to duplicate the God Tribulation heads after resting for a few days. The more God Tribulation Lightning Zhao Feng's lightning soul body contained, the stronger the Tribulation Lightning Eye flame would become. During this period of time, Zhao Feng continued to use substandard God crystals to cultivate in hopes of breaking through to the early stages of the mystic light realm as soon as possible. Zhao Feng had a premonition that it wouldn't be long before the divine energy disappeared. At that time, the God corpse would appear in the continent zone. Therefore, Zhao Feng would often use the Dark Heart Seal to communicate with Bai Qingyue and understand the situation of the power of a god on the battlefield. 4 months later, the sacred emperor of the Great Gon Lord dynasty changed, and the 9th prince officially became the sacred emperor. However, even though such a big thing had happened, none of the forces in the Lord dynasty paid too much attention to the new sacred emperor. Their eyes were still on the power of a god on the battlefield. In reality, all the upper echelon members of the 3-star forces knew that the Imperials were just the managers of the Great Gon Lord dynasty on the surface. The true ruler of the Great Gon Lord dynasty was the Grand Imperial Hall. On this day, Bai Qingyue sent a message to Zhao Feng. Master, a demigod has reached 90,000 miles underground. Chapter 1074. Master, a demigod has reached 90,000 miles underground. On this day, Bai Qingyue sent a message to Zhao Feng. So fast. Zhao Feng's heart jumped. Only he knew that the god corpse was hidden 100,000 miles underground, and now a demigod had reached 90,000 miles underground. From the looks of it, the power of the god corpse was weakening faster the further one went. If this continues, there won't be enough time. Zhao Feng said in a solemn tone. He had been using substandard god crystals to cultivate over the past few days, and he was only one step away from the early stages of the mystic light realm. However, the speed at which the divine light disappeared on the battlefield would become faster and faster. If Zhao Feng delayed, he would lose the initiative. No, I have to go over first. Zhao Feng made a decision. Zhao Feng then contacted Bai Qingyue to learn more about the battlefield. The upper echelon of the 2 Lord dynasties seemed to have met with each other regarding the god corpse and came to an agreement to temporarily stop fighting and search the secret treasures together. Bai Qingyue told Zhao Feng about the situation. The 2 Lord dynasties only said that they would temporarily search the secret treasures together. There were no other restrictions between them. This meant that if the members of the 2 Lord dynasties met each other in the secret treasures, they would immediately attack. The battlefield on the surface had moved to the secret treasures underground. Furthermore, one could see from the range of the god power that the secret treasures underground were extremely large. Therefore, the 2 Lord dynasties didn't set any restrictions, meaning that anyone could go down and search for fortune. As I thought, it will become like this. Zhao Feng had guessed this long ago. The secret treasures underground weren't secret realms or independent dimensions. They were an enormous god corpse. Almost all the experts of both Lord dynasties would enter, so there was no way to limit the number of people. Although there was no limit, normal sacred lords probably wouldn't dare to enter. This was because the sacred kings and demigods of both Lord dynasties would enter the secret treasures underground. Normal sacred lords would only die if they met sacred kings or demigods of opposing Lord dynasties. The heavenly divine realm was too far away for some initial stage or early stage mystic light realm sacred lords, so most initial stage mystic light realm sacred lords wouldn't take the risk. After understanding everything, Zhao Feng arrived at Saint Dr. Jade Spirit's residence. This time, Zhao Feng took out even more precious flesh and bloodlines and a few primordial precious materials that Zhao Feng could recognize so that saintly Dr. Jade Spirit could refine higher-grade pills. 7 days later, Zhao Feng took the pills and summoned Supreme Sovereign Hidden Night. Supreme Emperor Dark Night, Immediately release a large number of missions to assassinate the middle and upper echelons of Nine Darkness Palace. Zhao Feng immediately ordered. The number of assassination missions this time was very large, and the difficulty and level of the missions were very high. Among them, Zhao Feng also pointed out one person. This person was the great elder of the Nether Ghost sect. Now that the power of the gods on the battlefield was fading away, the upper echelons and demigods of Nine Darkness Palace couldn't leave the battlefield. This was the best chance for the Hall of Gods to weaken Nine Darkness Palace. Zhao Feng knew that even if he didn't attack Nine Darkness Palace first, the upper echelons and demigods of Nine Darkness Palace might attack the Hall of Gods after they finished exploring the treasures in the God Corpse. On a certain day, the Silence Assassination Division released a large number of assassination missions with rich rewards. The targets were all important members of Nine Darkness Palace and its subordinate forces. The assassins would also look for opportunities. At this moment, most of Nine Darkness Palace's attention was attracted by the treasures underground. Therefore, many assassins would accept the missions and take the risk. It was time for Zhao Feng to leave after saying everything. Shua. Zhao Feng waved the arm guard in his hand, and his figure started to fade and disappear amidst a layer of silver light. Zhao Feng used the misty spatial world and quickly headed toward the Lan province battlefield. On the way, Zhao Feng suddenly stopped and concealed his aura. He arrived at a sect that cultivated the Tao of Ghosts, the Dark Ghost Clan. Since Zhao Feng was about to break through to the early stages of the Mystic Light Realm, Zhao Feng was able to sneak into the Dark Ghost Clan without anyone knowing. The Dark Ghost Clan was the clan that Zhao Wang was from. The Grand Elder of the Dark Ghost Clan was the elder who had set up the evil Death in Spirit array with the black-armored Sacred Lord and company to kill Zhao Feng before escaping. "It's time to take your life." Zhao Feng laughed coldly. The elder had Zhao Feng's mark of the God Eye on him, so Zhao Feng was able to accurately sense his location. At a certain moment, Zhao Feng and Zhao Wang passed by each other in the Dark Ghost Clan, and they smiled at each other. Zhao Wang followed Zhao Feng's plan and went out for a while. When he returned to the clan, he said that he had obtained great fortune and was able to break through quickly. He was now a peak-tier king, but Zhao Wang's soul intent had reached the level of a quasi-sacred lord. Zhao Wang possessed the Eyes of Death. Although he did not reveal it, the Eyes of Death allowed him to cultivate the death chi of the Ghost Tao very smoothly. Currently, some of the Nether Ghost sect's peak Great Emperor Realm elders might not be a match for Zhao Wang. Zhao Feng soon arrived at a valley surrounded by ghostly aura. Zhao Feng instantly circulated his sacred lightning body, and golden sacred lightning flashed across his body. A layer of dark yellow lightning appeared on his body, and an invisible physical force enveloped heaven and earth. Zhao Feng punched through the array in front of the valley and charged in. "Who's there?" The elder in seclusion within the valley instantly woke up. Tribulation Lightning Eye Flame. Zhao Feng immediately used his killing move without saying anything else. Boom! A ball of twisted Tribulation Lightning imprints burned like flames. It carried a terrifying soul aura as it bombarded the old man's soul. "Arg, it's you!" The gray-haired old man let out a shrill scream. In just a short while, the elder's soul was completely destroyed by the power of God Tribulation Lightning. One had to know that Zhao Feng's soul intent had reached the late stages of the Mystic Light Realm, and even Sacred King Feather Spirit had lost to Zhao Feng's Tribulation Lightning Eye Flame. How could a measly initial stage Sacred Lord block Zhao Feng's Tribulation Lightning Eye Bloodline technique? The entire Dark Ghost Clan started to shake as the Grand Elder of the Dark Ghost Clan died. Who dares to enter the forbidden area of the Dark Ghost Clan? How dare you? Don't you know that the Dark Ghost Clan is one of the biggest subordinate forces of Nine Darkness Palace? Some emperors within the Dark Ghost Clan roared as they spread out their divine senses. However, after killing the Grand Elder of the Dark Ghost Clan, Zhao Feng used the misty spatial world to teleport away. Zhao Feng's figure slowly appeared outside a certain central spiritual palace in the continent zone. "I'll leave the rest to you." Zhao Feng smiled and said. Everything Zhao Feng did was to pave the way for Zhao Wang. Now that the Grand Elder of the Dark Ghost Clan had died, The upper echelon of 9 Darkness Palace would be gathered on the battlefield and wouldn't be able to manage it. Therefore, the Dark Ghost clan would definitely choose a new Grand Elder and a new group of elders. After leaving everything to Zhao Wang, Zhao Feng used the misty spatial world to quickly head toward the Lan province battlefield. Several days later, whoosh, Zhao Feng's figure suddenly appeared near a city on the Lan province battlefield, but at this moment, this city was extremely empty. But now, the city was very empty. Most of the experts who used to live here had already gone underground on the battlefield. Boom! A demonic purple and blood-colored figure suddenly rushed out from somewhere in the city. A terrifying and domineering evil energy caused many experts in the city to tremble in fear. I thought that you wouldn't come. Nan Gongxing inspected Zhao Feng with interest. Although he knew that Zhao Feng had the misty spatial world and that it would be extremely easy for him to get here, the secret treasury below the battlefield was extremely dangerous. Normal initial stage Mystic Light Realm and early stage Sacred Lords wouldn't even dare to enter. On the other hand, Zhao Feng had a feud with 9 Darkness Palace. If he met a Sacred King or a demigod from 9 Darkness Palace, he would definitely die. Your strength. Nan Gongxing's eyebrows furrowed. Zhao Feng's strength didn't seem to have improved much. Brother Feng, take me with you. Zhao Yufei's voice sounded at this moment. The Heaven-Earth Yuan Qi suddenly shook, and a purple figure flashed next to Zhao Feng. A terrifying bloodline pressure instantly spread. At this moment, Zhao Yufei was already at the early stages of the Mystic Light Realm. Her skin glittered with a purple light, and she seemed like a noble goddess of ice and jade. Even someone as strong as Nan Gongxing felt the sacred power and bloodline within his body tremble. Yufei's strength. Zhao Feng was surprised. He didn't expect that the small amount of resources he had given to Zhao Yufei would cause Zhao Yufei's strength to change so much. As expected of the spiritual race bloodline. Nan Gongxing obviously knew that Zhao Yufei had the spiritual race bloodline. However, Zhao Yufei's spiritual race bloodline was able to give him such a terrifying pressure. From this, one could see that the density of Zhao Yufei's spiritual race bloodline seemed to have increased again. If the two of you were included, then that would be more like it. Nan Gongxing had a cold expression as he said casually. He was slightly disappointed that Zhao Feng hadn't broken through, but he placed a lot of importance on Zhao Yufei's spiritual race bloodline. Then let's go. Zhao Feng didn't say anything else. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The three of them left. A giant abyss that was 10,000 miles wide slowly appeared on the ground in the distance. Countless experts gathered near the abyss. Most of them were kings and emperors, but there were also many initial stage Mystic Light Realm Sacred Lords. The spectators on the other side of the abyss were all non-humans. That's Zhao Yufei, Nan Gongxing, and Zhao Feng. The purple-haired demonic duo are teaming up again? This Zhao Feng really doesn't know what's good for him. He's just at the initial stage Mystic Light Realm, but he wants to steal the treasures underground? The experts near the abyss were either stunned or mocking. In a certain place, a male in black armor immediately sent a message through a special teleportation treasure when he saw Zhao Feng appear. Senior Feather Spirit, Zhao Feng is here. There was also an elder in black robes surrounded by demonic aura. A jade talisman suddenly appeared in his hand, and he disappeared into the air. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Zhao Feng, Zhao Yufei, and Nan Gongxing charged into the abyss and went underground. A faint golden ripple spread across Zhao Feng's left eye. The power of the God realm hasn't disappeared yet. The experts of both Lord dynasties are still waiting underground. Zhao Feng's gaze could see through everything. There were many experts from both Lord dynasties near the God corpse. Most of these experts were led by a force, and they were gathered together. The forces that could stay underground were almost all powerful forces in the continent zone. Chapter 1075. So that's how it is. Zhao Feng used the see-through ability of his left eye to inspect the situation underground, and he soon obtained some information. Most of the experts in the depths of the underground were led by a powerful force and gathered together. Apart from their own members, these underground forces would also take in other experts. Some normal early-stage mystic light realm and late-stage sacred lords didn't dare to explore the underground by themselves, so they temporarily joined a powerful force or sect in the Lord dynasty to seek protection. At the same time, these powerful forces and sects would take in experts from outside and expand their overall strength in order to obtain more benefits. Apart from that, there were also some solo cultivators or temporary groups of sacred lords. Zhao Feng, Nan Gongxing, and Zhao Yufei were a temporary group. Nan Gongxing had reached the late stages of the mystic light realm and hadn't consolidated his strength yet, but he definitely had the ability to fight against a sacred king. Although Zhao Yufei was only at the early stages of the mystic light realm, she had the bloodline of the spiritual race, and her battle power wasn't any weaker than Nan Gongxing's when they fought in the God Corps. Therefore, the battle power of Zhao Feng's group of 3 was very strong. As long as they didn't meet a group of demigods, there wouldn't be any accidents. It was because of this that Zhao Feng was able to let Zhao Yufei come along. Furthermore, Zhao Feng had another hidden card, demigod Kuan Yun. Zhao Feng could roughly sense Kuan Yun's location through the square token in his hand. He believed that Kuan Yun's strength should have increased by quite a bit after such a long time. "Come with me." Zhao Feng circulated his mystic light sacred power that contained the earth of wind lightning and wrapped around Zhao Yufei and Nan Gongxing. They then entered a cliff on the side of the abyss. "Zhao Feng, you know how to escape through the earth now?" Nan Gongxing asked with surprise. Back in the divine illusion dimension, Nan Gongxing and Zhao Feng couldn't do anything against the Thousand Changes illusionary dragon and the blue serpent dragon. In the end, it was the little thieving cat that forced them out. Zhao Feng didn't reply to Nan Gongxing. He just led the 2 of them underground. The forces of 9 Nether Palace aren't nearby. Zhao Feng secretly rejoiced. If the forces of the 9 Nether Palace were nearby, then Zhao Feng could only take a detour. In the end, Zhao Feng chose a place and stopped. "I'll stay here for the time being and wait for the godly power to completely disappear before I take action," Zhao Feng said directly. Zhao Feng was very clear about what exactly was underground, and how large the area that godly power covered. Zhao Yufei did not question Zhao Feng's words. She immediately entered her small world and began cultivating. At this time, Zhao Yufei was very close to the divine power. This was the best place for her to cultivate her spirit race bloodline. Although Nan Gongxing had his doubts, he didn't say anything. Zhao Feng entered the misty spatial world directly. The little thieving cat was snoring next to the misty spatial world. Its gray fur gave off a weird light, and its body radiated a bloodline aura that made even Zhao Feng's heart shake. Could the little thieving cat have a bloodline from the 10,000 ancient races? Zhao Feng said in surprise. Zhao Feng was very knowledgeable, and he had interacted with the bloodlines of the 10,000 ancient races a lot. According to his guesses, if the little thieving cat had a bloodline of the 10,000 ancient races, then it would be ranked in the top 30 of the 10,000 ancient races. However, Zhao Feng was unable to determine what kind of bloodline the little thieving cat had just from this complicated and chaotic bloodline aura. Zhao Feng had many questions about the little thieving cat, and now there was one more. Who? 2 substandard god crystals appeared in Zhao Feng's hand. There's still some time before the power of the divine power disappears. I need to break through to the early stages of the mystic light realm before that happens. Zhao Feng had a determined gaze as he circulated the 5 elemental wind lightning technique to absorb the pure energy within the substandard god crystals. Even though Zhao Feng was in a group with Nan Gongxing and Zhao Yufei, Zhao Feng still felt that it was too dangerous for him to explore the god corpse at the initial stages of the mystic light realm. At the same time, Zhao Feng sucked a substandard god-slaying arrow into the dimension of his left eye and started to duplicate it. With Zhao Feng's current strength, the dark golden substandard god-slaying arrow could severely injure sacred kings. Its power was comparable to the tribulation lightning eye flame that Zhao Feng unleashed with all of his god tribulation lightning symbols. However, how could Zhao Feng use up all of his god tribulation lightning symbols at once? Therefore, Zhao Feng needed to duplicate some substandard god-slaying arrows. The power of the divine power underground started to weaken. Other than Zhao Feng's group of 3, the other sects, factions, and teams slowly ventured deeper as the heavenly divine energy weakened. The reason for that was because they didn't know exactly how deep underground the source of the godly energy was. At the center of the Grand Imperial Hall's territory, Demigod Dragon Emperor held a dragon-headed golden staff and didn't move at all, but his terrifying aura shook everything within 10,000 miles. At the edge of the Grand Imperial Hall's territory, Sacred King Feather Spirit's eyes moved, and his intent entered his interspatial dimension. At this moment, an item within his interspatial dimension suddenly flashed with light. Sacred King Feather Spirit's intent moved and obtained the information within. He still dares to come here? Sacred King Feather Spirit revealed a mocking smile. Sacred King Shihai, that brat's here. If you can help me, I'll thank you greatly in the future. Sacred King Feather Spirit said to the blue-haired middle-aged male next to him. The Grand Imperial Hall's forces were led by demigods and sacred kings, and they led the other members to explore the secret treasury. Sacred King Feather Spirit and Sacred King Shihai were in the same group. Sacred King Feather Spirit was the leader. Apart from the two Sacred Kings, there was also one late-stage Mystic Light Realm and two early-stage Mystic Light Realm. Such a terrifying group could destroy a 3-star superpower in the outside world. However, at this moment, Sacred King Feather Spirit's group wasn't even in the top 20. There's no need to thank me with our relationship, Sacred King Shihai said with a smile. The laws of water glittered around him and turned the dirt around him into water. It was as if his surroundings had turned into a world of ocean. On the other side of the underground, within a dense fog of demonic qi. Reporting to the Grand Elder, we've confirmed that Zhao Feng has come underground. An early-stage Mystic Light Realm Sacred Lord half-knelt and said respectfully. An illusory figure suddenly appeared in the thick mist of demon qi. Zhao Feng, he's here to die. Dark purple demonic flames flashed in the eyes of Demigod Dark Ocean, the Grand Elder of Nine Darkness Palace. All the upper echelon members of Nine Darkness Palace hated Zhao Feng to the bone. Ever since Nine Darkness Palace fought against Zhao Feng had slain countless experts of Nine Darkness Palace and devoured countless forces and resources of Nine Darkness Palace. He even used Nine Darkness Palace's fame to rise up quickly. Nine Darkness Palace obviously wouldn't endure such humiliation. Demigod Dark Ocean was originally planning to personally deal with this matter after he finished exploring the secret tomb underground. He didn't expect Zhao Feng to deliver himself to them. Kill Zhao Feng if you see him. Demigod Dark Ocean's voice sounded within the demonic mist. Understood. Some of the captains with powerful auras within the demonic mist replied. Somewhere in the underground, a man whose entire body was covered in black dragon scales stood together with an ordinary-looking white-clothed woman. As expected of the eyes of destiny. The experts of the other forces won't be able to sense my existence even if I hide here. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon laughed savagely. The place where the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon was hiding was far away from the forces of both Lord dynasties. A surge of profound soul power suddenly appeared from Bai Lin's pale white eyes and formed an abstract picture. I can't predict anything about Zhao Feng. Bai Lin sighed as her pale white eyes spun. At a certain moment, the picture changed and formed a wicked purple and blood-colored figure. The surroundings started to blur. Our target is the head of the god corpse. We will meet Zhao Feng there, Bai Lin said faintly. Since she couldn't predict what Zhao Feng would do, she could only predict what would happen to the people related to Zhao Feng. The head of the god corpse? The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon's eyes flashed. Even if Bai Lin didn't say that, its final target was the head of the god corpse. Prepare to enter, Bai Lin suddenly said. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon's body shook. In the next instant, the destructive godly power in the depths of the earth had completely dissipated. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon took Bai Lin into its little world and charged downward. What appeared in front of the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon was a white crystal. The combination of the divine body and divine power. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon immediately understood the state of the god corpse. Those at the true god realm had an undying divine body, And the combination of the divine body and divine power was even more monstrous. Now that the god corpse had combined with divine power, its entire body had turned into crystal. It could be said to be indestructible. Even if all the demigods of the continent zone teamed up, they probably wouldn't be able to destroy it. The black destruction serpent dragon's eyes focused, and it admired the eyes of destiny even more. The god corpse was extremely big, and it was extremely hard to find a gap. However, there was a small gap right in front of the black destruction serpent dragon. All of this was definitely within the control of the eyes of destiny. The black destruction serpent dragon entered through a gap on the surface of the god corpse. Deep underground, when the divine power completely dissipated, the god's corpse was completely exposed to everyone's eyes. It's a god corpse? Demigod Dragon Emperor's eyes paused. Such an enormous god corpse. Just what kind of strength did this person possess when he was alive? And why would his body appear here? Grand Emperor Song's divine sense scanned over the enormous god corpse, and his heart was filled with shock. Boom. Pooh. Immediately, all the forces of the two dynasties moved and charged toward the enormous crystallized god corpse. A sacred king unleashed a bolt of destructive red lightning, but it didn't leave any marks on the surface of the god corpse. It's completely unharmed? The sacred king was stunned, but there was nothing he could do. He could only lead his group to find another entrance. On the other side of the underground, Zhao Feng. Nan Gongxing revealed a bloodthirsty and enraged expression as he roared. Zhao Feng's figure instantly appeared next to him, and he revealed a faint smile. Brother Feng, you broke through. Zhao Yufei congratulated as she sensed the change in Zhao Feng's aura. That's right. Zhao Feng forced a smile. Zhao Feng had broken through to the early stages of the mystic light realm at the last moment, but no one knew how many resources and substandard god crystals Zhao Feng had used during this period of time. Zhao Feng circulated his mystic light sacred power, which contained the earth of wind lightning, and charged downward with the two of them. This is a god corpse. Zhao Feng didn't try to hide it and said, Zhao Feng and company entered the god corpse through the hole in the surface of the god corpse. How can there be such a coincidence? There's an entrance right below us. Nan Gongxing's gaze became grim. He once more sensed Zhao Feng's unfathomable mysteriousness, that unsurpassable feeling suddenly assailed him. Chapter 1076. When the three entered the body of the god corpse, they felt a surge of heaven-earth yuan qi rush into their noses. Everyone felt extremely comfortable, and the mystic light sacred power within their bodies flowed even faster as their sacred bodies automatically absorbed the heaven-earth yuan qi nearby. If we cultivate here, our cultivation speed will be at least 10 times faster than in the outside world. Zhao Feng said in surprise. The heaven-earth yuan qi within the god corpse was extremely dense. It wasn't something that the outside world could compare to. Furthermore, the god corpse was filled with a solemn and dignified aura, and one could sense many laws and intents more clearly. It was the best place to cultivate. As Zhao Yufei walked, the surrounding heaven and earth spiritual energy surged like amethyst fragments, as if they were worshipping her. They surrounded Zhao Yufei, and a wave of heaven and earth spiritual energy quickly merged into her body. I don't even need to cultivate here. The speed at which I absorb heaven-earth yuan qi is the same as when I'm cultivating in seclusion in the outside world. Zhao Yufei's face was filled with shock and disbelief. The expressions of Nan Gongxing and Zhao Feng froze as they stared at Zhao Yufei with gaping mouths. She could reach the same speed as when she was cultivating in seclusion in the outside world without cultivating? One had to know that even Zhao Feng's cultivation speed using substandard god crystals wasn't as fast as Zhang Yufei's. However, at this moment, Zhao Yufei's cultivation speed was far faster than Zhao Feng's when he was absorbing the surrounding heaven-earth yuan qi using substandard god crystals. Nan Gongxing and Zhao Feng had to admit that they had underestimated Zhao Yufei's bloodline. The bloodline of the top 20 of the 10,000 ancient races wasn't as simple as they thought. Yufei, why don't you stay here and focus on cultivating? Zhao Feng suggested. This god corpse was the best place for those with the spiritual race bloodline to cultivate. Every inch of the crystal walls contained heaven-earth yuan qi that surpassed substandard god crystals. Many places had heaven-earth yuan qi that was equivalent to real god crystals. This meant that the entire god corpse was equivalent to a substandard god crystal that was tens of millions of yards long. However, the structure of this god corpse was extremely complete, and it was unbelievably tough. It was impossible to destroy it. However, the bloodline of the spirit tribe allowed her to absorb the essence of the world within the god's corpse very quickly. If Zhao Yufei stayed here and focused on cultivating, it wouldn't take long for her to reach the god realm. No, I want to explore the true opportunities in the immortal corpse with Brother Feng. Zhao Yufei immediately refused. If she stayed here alone, it would be much more dangerous for Nan Gongsheng and Zhao Feng to explore the god corpse. Moreover, Zhao Yufei's original intention of exploring the sacred remains was not for the opportunities inside. All right, let's go. Zhao Feng's heart skipped a beat. Compared to the essence of the world contained in the god corpses, there should be even more precious treasures hidden inside them. The wicked aura within Nan Gongsheng's body became stronger and stronger. It was obvious that the treasures that might exist in the god corpse had stimulated the growth of his evil thoughts. Meow meow. At this moment, the little thieving cat appeared on Zhao Feng's shoulder and threw out a few bronze coins. It then waved its paw and pointed in a direction. Let's go. Zhao Feng knew that the little thieving cat wouldn't be asleep at this time. Before moving, Zhao Feng waved his arm guard and left behind a spatial coordinate. The trio immediately flew in the direction that the little thieving cat pointed, but they stopped before they could get very far. What's this? Zhao Feng moved closer to the crystal wall. In the corner of the wall, there was a blood crystal spiritual mushroom. Powerful heaven-earth yuan qi and the aura of an ancient bloodline. Zhao Yufei sniffed and immediately said, could it be that a wisp of the god corpse's weak bloodline aura combined with divine power to form a treasure? Zhao Feng slowly guessed. This crystal-like blood-colored lingji wasn't connected to the god corpse. It was as if it was something that grew later. The crystal-like lingji was similar to the sky water crystal lotus that Zhao Feng once obtained. It was a treasure that crossed plant-type and metal-type treasures. However, the crystal-like lingji in front of them was undoubtedly more valuable. It contained a powerful ancient bloodline aura, dense heaven-earth yuan qi, and the intents of wood and water. Furthermore, the amount of heaven-earth yuan qi and ancient aura contained within this crystal-like lingji was even more abundant than the resources in Zhao Feng's ancient dream realm. Without saying anything else, Zhao Feng put this resource into the misty spatial world. After taking away the crystal-like lingji, Zhao Feng found that the divine power and heaven-earth yuan qi contained within the crystal wall was the same as a god crystal. Unfortunately, they weren't able to take it away. Greed flashed through Nan Gongsheng's eyes, but he resisted the urge to take it. Before entering the god corpse, everyone had a discussion. The fortune within the god corpse depended on their own strength. Whoever obtained it first would get it. There's more over there. Nan Gongsheng glanced at the wall not far away and immediately flew over to take away a crystal-like herb. Nan Gongsheng's words caused Zhao Feng's gaze to move away from the wall. Are these just normal herbs in the god corpse? Zhao Feng's expression froze, and he felt slightly awkward. It seemed like the blood crystal lingji that he was so interested in was just a normal herb in the god corpse. What kind of terrifying existence was this god corpse when it was alive? Nan Gongsheng took in a cold breath and revealed a fearful expression. From the looks of it, the fortune within the god corpse might be even more tempting than the ancient god's mysterious palace in the divine illusion dimension. I can't tell either. The evil god mental thought body's voice sounded from within Nan Gongsheng's body. He was only an evil god mental thought body, so he didn't have the complete memories of ancient god Xieyang. Forget about that. Let's continue. Zhao Feng straightforwardly said. Although the precious materials that could be seen everywhere along the way were extremely tempting, the crowd still resisted the urge to pluck them. How could they waste time on these ordinary precious materials? Watch out. Zhao Yufei felt a disturbance of yuan qi and immediately said, "Wang." A furious roar accompanied by a terrifying aura bombarded the crowd. A blood-colored figure charged out from the fork in the road ahead. The blood-colored figure had the shape of a human, but it didn't have any facial features. Its body seemed to be formed from pure heaven and earth energy and laws. This is a Yao spirit formed from the power of the god corpse. Zhao Feng's left eye soon came to a conclusion after seeing through the blood-colored crystalline figure. If the god corpse could form all these precious herbs, then it could naturally form a Yao spirit with its own consciousness. The reason why Zhao Yufei sensed the blood crystal Yao spirit before Zhao Feng was because the blood crystal Yao spirit's body was mostly made up of heaven and earth energy and divine power. This was why Zhao Yufei's spiritual race bloodline was able to sense it first. The blood crystal Yao spirit's body was extremely agile, and it thrust out a palm. Boom! The laws of heaven and earth and the power of heaven and earth were controlled by it and condensed into a blood-colored palm that crushed toward them with terrifying force. What power! Nan Gongsheng's expression became grim as a purple and blood-colored divine light surrounded his body and condensed into a demonic claw covered in purple and blood-colored patterns that he thrust out. Boom! Nan Gongsheng's blood boiled as the two attacks clashed, and he retreated several steps. An attack that surpasses normal sacred kings. Zhao Feng's eyes focused. Danger and fortune existed together. There were treasures everywhere in the god corpse, and any one of them could cause sacred kings in the outside world to go crazy. The danger within the god corpse wasn't something a normal mystic light realm's sacred lord could deal with. From Nan Gongsheng's exchange with the blood crystal Yao spirit just now, Zhao Feng could see the terrifying strength of the blood crystal Yao spirit. The trio had to admit that they had underestimated the god corpse, the fortune and danger within. Boom, 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 boom. Zhao Yufei and Zhao Feng immediately went forward. Zhao Yufei's hand that didn't seem like a human's gently moved, and the heaven-earth yuan qi within the god corpse started to stir. It turned into a purple crystal storm that swept toward the blood crystal Yao spirit. Wind lightning eye flame. A surge of eye bloodline flames surged from Zhao Feng's left eye, and wisps of dark purple god tribulation lightning flashed across it. Boom! A ball of transparent purple and gold lightning fire with the aura of god tribulation lightning exploded on the blood crystal Yao spirit's body. Arg! The blood crystal Yao spirit was instantly at a disadvantage when facing the attacks of Zhao Feng and company. Zhao Feng's wind lightning eye flame dealt the most damage to the blood crystal Yao spirit. The blood crystal Yao spirit was a Yao spirit that was born within the god corpse. Its physical power was extremely strong, and its attacks even contained a wisp of profound intent. However, its soul was its fatal weakness. Seeing that it wasn't their match, the blood crystal Yao spirit immediately ran away. Zhao Feng and company chased after it, but they didn't immediately kill the blood crystal Yao spirit. Instead, they followed it closely. Zhao Feng believed that a place that could give birth to a blood crystal Yao spirit would definitely be different. The group soon arrived at the entrance of a crystal cave. Everyone watch out! Zhao Feng immediately warned. The crystal nearby was faintly red, and it flashed with a faint blood-colored light. It was completely different from the crystal walls around them. The blood crystal Yao spirit charged into the cave. A few terrifying roars could be heard from the cave as a terrifying atavistic bloodline aura, accompanied by a powerful saint energy ripple, spread out from the cave. 3 blood crystal Yao spirits leapt out from the cave. 2 of them were human-shaped, and the last one was enormous and seemed to be a dog-type beast. 1 for each of us. Zhao Feng smiled faintly. Just to my liking. Nan Gongsheng revealed a cold and bloodthirsty smile as a terrifying purple and blood-colored sacred light radiated from his body. From Nan Gongsheng's point of view, this was a battle between him and Zhao Feng. If he could finish off one of the blood crystal monsters first, it meant that he surpassed Zhao Feng and could enter the cave first. Zhao Yufei gave a smile and agreed. Boom! The 3 of them attacked at the same time. Nan Gongsheng and Zhao Yufei charged toward the 2 human-shaped blood crystal Yao spirits, while Zhao Feng could only face the beast-shaped blood crystal Yao spirit. The experts of both lord dynasties found treasures that made them go crazy, and different levels of intense battles occurred in various parts of the God Corpse. Some sacred lords that didn't want to explore the God Corpse carefully approached it as well. So, it's a God Corpse. I won't go in and just cultivate outside. There should be no problem. An initial stage Mystic Light Realm's sacred lord sat next to the crystallized God Corpse and started to absorb the pure heaven-earth Yuan Qi to cultivate. Some initial stage Mystic Light Realm's sacred lords and quasi-sacred lords entered the ground out of curiosity. I'm too late. An elder in gray revealed a faint smile as he approached the God Corpse. A circle of black lines slowly appeared in the elder's dim eyes, and a terrifying eye bloodline power surged from it. If I can find a chance to break through to the heavenly divine realm here, I'll let her live. Chapter 1077. Within the God Corpse, Zhao Feng, Nen Gongxing, and Zhao Yufei each faced a blood crystal Yao spirit. Evil Devil Claw. Nan Gongxing extended his right arm, and the blood-red patterns on it started to quickly climb up his arm. Countless blood-red patterns formed an invisible demonic claw that ripped forward with terrifying power. This time, Nan Gongxing put away his underestimation and went all out. Boom! The human-shaped blood crystal Yao spirit's attack was instantly shattered by Nan Gongxing's claw. Human, you're courting death. The blood crystal Yao spirit sensed the evil power within Nan Gongxing's body, and a surge of bloodline power suddenly appeared from the center of the blood crystal Yao spirit's body, causing it to become even more fiery red. Nan Gongxing, the ancient bloodline aura within this blood crystal Yao spirit is even thicker. The evil god mental thought body's voice sounded within Nan Gongxing's body. Nan Gongxing obviously understood what the evil god mental thought body meant. Although the ancient bloodline of this god corpse was extremely weak, it was still very useful to him. Furthermore, even the evil god mental thought body wasn't able to estimate what level this god corpse was at when it was alive. Back then, just a drop of demigod Kuan Yun's normal blood was enough to make many geniuses of the true martial sacred land fight over it. On the other side, Zhao Yufei easily fought against the blood crystal Yao spirit. The spiritual race bloodline's endurance was extremely strong, and in this environment, Zhao Yufei's power was endless. However, what Zhao Yufei lacked was explosive power and a critical strike. The blood crystal Yao spirit was unable to injure Zhao Yufei, and Zhao Yufei wouldn't be able to finish off the blood crystal Yao spirit in a short amount of time. Wind Lightning Eye Flame. A purple and gold flame appeared from Zhao Feng's left eye, and it flashed with dark purple god tribulation lightning symbols. Boom! A ball of transparent purple and gold lightning fire with the aura of god tribulation lightning exploded on the blood crystal Yao spirit's body. This time, Zhao Feng didn't dare to slack off while fighting a blood crystal Yao spirit by himself. He immediately used a soul eye bloodline technique. Physical force lightning domain. A dark yellow lightning domain was released from Zhao Feng's sacred lightning body. Even someone as strong as the blood crystal demon spirit was suppressed by Zhao Feng's domain. Meow meow. The little thieving cat held the Shadow Kill Imperial Dagger in one hand and the dark golden dragon snake whip in the other to help its owner attract the blood crystal Yao spirit's attention and occasionally attack it. Holy Lightning Dominating Fist. Sky-crushing Sacred Lightning Palm. Zhao Feng executed the lightning wings flying escape technique. Within a limited space, he controlled his speed and constantly attacked the blood crystal demon spirit. After breaking through to the early stages of the Mystic Light realm, Zhao Feng's Mystic Light sacred power became even stronger. Furthermore, Zhao Feng's Mystic Light sacred power could switch between the Earth of Wind Lightning sacred power and the Fire of Wind Lightning sacred power to control and attack. On the other side, Nan Gongxing, who was fighting with the blood crystal demon spirit, observed the situation of Zhao Feng's battle. His strength. Nan Gongxing's expression became grim. Although the blood crystal demon spirit's soul will was weak and was countered by Zhao Feng, the blood crystal demon spirit's soul will was weak. However, the power that Zhao Feng was displaying now was almost at the level of a holy king. Zhao Feng, I'll go in first. A wisp of blinding purple light instantly appeared from Nan Gongxing's body. It radiated a desolate aura that caused the nearby heaven-earth Yuan Qi to tremble. Power of God? Zhao Feng's eyebrows furrowed. At this moment, in order to defeat him, Nan Gongsheng actually used a sliver of divine power that he couldn't control. After using divine power, Nan Gongsheng wouldn't even need to fear a Saint King expert, let alone a blood crystal demon spirit that could only use the strength of a Saint King. Tribulation lightning eye flame. Zhao Feng's left eye instantly flashed with countless arcs of white lightning, and the intent of soul destruction surged with powerful soul fluctuations. Being the captain of this group, Zhao Feng obviously couldn't be suppressed by Nan Gongxing, or else Nan Gongxing would only become more arrogant. Therefore, Zhao Feng condensed a certain amount of God Tribulation lightning symbols and unleashed a killing eye bloodline technique. A ball of twisting God Tribulation lightning symbols flickered like flames, and it contained a terrifying soul aura as it landed on the blood crystal demon spirit soul. The soul intent of the blood crystal demon spirit was originally very weak, so it didn't even last a breath before being destroyed by the God Tribulation lightning symbols. Shua. Zhao Feng put the blood crystal demon spirit's body into the misty spatial world and entered the crystal cave. How? Nan Gongxing's expression changed dramatically as he killed the blood crystal demon spirit in front of him and put its body away. However, in terms of speed, Nan Gongxing was slightly slower than Zhao Feng. On the other side, Zhao Yufei also used some secret bloodline techniques to kill the blood crystal demon spirit. Bush. The three of them charged into the cave. Zhao Feng was the fastest, so he was the first to enter. The cave wasn't very big, and the surrounding walls weren't completely crystallized. Instead, they seemed to be made of some sort of colloidal substance that undulated slightly. At the center of the cave was a very small pond of blood that contained abnormally thick blood-colored liquid. At this moment, the blood crystal demon spirit that Zhao Feng and company had injured was currently in the pond of blood, as if it was recovering. There was another blood crystal demon spirit at the edge of the pond that hadn't fully grown yet. What a terrifying ancient bloodline aura! Zhao Feng was shocked as he sensed the aura within the pond. Zhao Feng had also taken the blood of the sky fire lightning ape in the ancient dream realm, but its bloodline aura and pressure were completely negligible in comparison to this. Go! Zhao Feng immediately approached the pond and moved the liquid into the misty spatial world. At the same time, the little thieving cat jumped into the pond and started to suck. Although Zhao Feng had arrived first, he didn't take any more after taking a certain amount. This is? Zhao Feng took a round, blood-colored crystal bead from the bottom of the pond. Zhao Feng's gaze then landed on the blood crystal demon spirit that hadn't fully grown yet. Zhao Feng also put the blood crystal demon spirit that hadn't fully grown into the misty spatial world. How dare you steal the blood of a god? The other injured blood crystal demon spirit in the pond was enraged and started to attack Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng took some of the spoils and retreated to the back. Nan Gongxing and Zhao Yufei charged forward and killed the injured blood crystal demon spirit. The remaining 50% of the blood-colored liquid in the pond was split between the two of them. Could this be the blood of the god corpse? Nan Gongxing's eyes twinkled. Impossible! We can't even get close to the true blood of the god corpse. Zhao Feng straightforwardly said. Zhao Feng's estimate of the strength of the god corpse when it was alive continued to rise. The blood in the pond either contained a bit of bloodline aura or was formed from a drop of the god corpse's blood. Even if there was a drop of the god corpse's blood in the pond, the power within it would have split after who knew how many years. For example, the blood crystal demon spirits were products of the pond. Although that was the case, the blood in the pond couldn't be weak if it could give birth to such a terrifying Yao spirit. Not good, someone's coming. Zhao Feng's left eye saw through the crystal wall and saw a figure. Blood of the god corpse? All of a sudden, 5 figures of foreign races flew over at high speed. So, it's a human. Following that, a mocking voice was heard. Any crystal within the god corpse would be able to block divine sense. Therefore, mystic light realm's sacred lords could only rely on their eyes to see what was going on in the cave. Boom! Several terrifying surges of laws and intents blocked Zhao Feng and company, who were about to charge out of the cave. Zhao Feng, a non-human elephant man, exclaimed in joy. The eyes of Zhao Feng, Nan Gongxing, and Zhao Yufei became grim as they inspected the five in front of them. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms. Zhao Feng and company all recognized this Sacred Lord of the Elephant Man race. Apart from Sacred Lord Myriad Forms, who was at the early stages of the Mystic Light Realm, there was another non-human at the early stages of the Mystic Light Realm, a late-stage Mystic Light Realm Sacred Lord, and the two strongest Sacred Kings in the group. Lord Black Poison, Lord Purple Poison, these three are prodigies of the Great Gone Lord dynasty. That female is Zhao Yufei, and the male with purple and blood-colored hair has the power of the evil god. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms immediately said respectfully to the two non-human Sacred Kings next to him. Everyone from the Dark Moon Lord dynasty knew about Zhao Yufei. Nan Gongxing's achievements on the battlefield were also known by the non-humans. Kill them all. Sacred King Black Poison from the Snake Men race had a cold expression as he said casually. 3 Sacred Lords dare to team up and enter the God Corpse? The late-stage Mystic Light Realm non-human Sacred Lord snickered. Furthermore, Zhao Yufei and Zhao Feng were both at the early stages of the Mystic Light Realm. They really don't know what's good for them. They dare to come in without a Sacred King leading them? Sacred Lord Myriad Forms roared with laughter. He could finally take revenge for what happened back then. One had to know that even if a Sacred King was present in a group, it wasn't completely safe. After all the demigods of both Lord dynasties had entered the God Corpse as well. The two of you, take care of these 2 Sacred Kings. I'll take care of Sacred Lord Myriad Forms and the other 2 Sacred Lords. Right as the 5 non-humans were mocking Zhao Feng and company, Zhao Feng, Nan Gongxing, and Zhao Yufei had come up with a plan. The strength of these 2 Sacred Kings was obviously much stronger than the blood crystal Yao spirit from earlier. However, Nan Gongxing had the power of the evil god, so it wasn't a problem for him to stall a Sacred King. Zhao Yufei had the bloodline of the spiritual race, which was ranked 19th among the 10,000 ancient races. She had a strong foundation and strong defense, and she was like a tiger with wings in the God Corpse where the Heaven-Earth Yuan Qi was extremely dense. Before the non-human group could attack, Zhao Feng and company moved. What? Sacred Lord Myriad Forms was just about to torture the 3 in front of him, but he didn't expect Zhao Feng to charge toward him. 1. A dark yellow domain of lightning appeared from Zhao Feng's sacred lightning body and covered Sacred Lord Myriad Forms and the other 2 Sacred Lords. After breaking through to the early stages of the Mystic Light Realm, normal early-stage Mystic Light Realm Sacred Lords felt as if they were carrying a mountain on their back when facing Zhao Feng's physical force of lightning. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms and the other late-stage Mystic Light Realm Sacred Lords fared slightly better. How is this possible? Your strength. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms was stunned and filled with disbelief. He had fought against Zhao Feng a few years ago, and Zhao Feng only had a slight advantage at that time. However, Zhao Feng was so strong when facing 3 Mystic Light Realm Sacred Lords at the same time. Kill him. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms said to the late-stage Mystic Light Realm non-human Sacred Lord next to him. After consolidating his strength, Sacred Lord Myriad Forms also had the battle power of a late-stage Sacred Lord. He believed that the 2 late-stage Sacred Lords would be able to kill Zhao Feng if they teamed up. Moreover, there were 2 Saint Kings with terrifying abilities in their team. Chapter 1078. Let's team up and kill him. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms said to the late-stage Mystic Light Realm non-human Sacred Lord next to him. The battle power of the other early-stage Mystic Light Realm non-human Sacred Lord was suppressed by at least 50% by Zhao Feng's physical force of lightning, so Sacred Lord Myriad Forms ignored him. Sure. The large non-human with red fur glared at Zhao Feng. Although the human in front of him was only at the initial stages of the Mystic Light Realm, the pressure he felt was extremely heavy. However, he wasn't worried about teaming up with Sacred Lord Myriad Forms. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms had the eyes of Myriad Forms, and his true strength was probably even higher than normal late-stage Mystic Light Realm Sacred Lords. Myriad Forms World of Fire. Sacred Lord Myriad Form's eyes focused, and the Heaven-Earth Yuan Qi nearby was instantly controlled by him and turned into the element of fire. The temperature of the surroundings started to rise, and a wave of fire surrounded Zhao Feng. The non-human with red hair roared as he waved his fists. A layer of scarlet-red flames covered his fists, and he was like a giant flaming beast. Heaven and Earth Flaming Dragon. A scarlet blood-colored flaming dragon surrounded the non-human Sacred Lord's body and instantly crushed toward Zhao Feng. The scarlet-colored flames that covered heaven and earth were unable to do any damage to the barrier around him. I can also absorb the element of fire. Zhao Feng laughed coldly as he activated his perfect Blood Devil Sun bloodline. One boom. A glass-like flame appeared around Zhao Feng's body, and a scorching and terrifying aura spread out. At the same time, the nearby fire elemental power quickly entered Zhao Feng's body. Sacred Lightning Dominating Fist. Zhao Feng merged the fire of wind lightning and the sacred lightning body together and unleashed a ball of scorching lightning that clashed with the red-haired non-human Sacred Lord. The red-haired non-human Sacred Lord only cultivated a fire elemental technique, but not only did Zhao Feng's 5-elemental wind lightning technique contain the element of fire, he also had a fire elemental bloodline. Therefore, Sacred Lord Myriad Form's World of Fire buffed Zhao Feng even more. Boom! The red-haired non-human Sacred Lord was instantly pushed back by Zhao Feng's burst of power, and he slammed into the crystal wall behind him. A scarlet blood-colored glass-like flame burned around his body, and it continued to corrode him. How could that be? This human brat's strength. The red-haired non-human Sacred Lord was stunned. He couldn't believe that he had been defeated so easily by an early-stage Mystic Light Realm Sacred Lord. Xiu xiu xiu. Just as the red-haired non-human Sacred Lord was sent flying, several thousand golden swords stabbed toward Zhao Feng from the wave of fire. Sharp Metal Sword. The rainbow-colored symbol in Sacred Lord Myriad Form's left eye slowly stopped. On the other side, the early-stage Mystic Light Realm Sacred Lord retreated and unleashed a powerful long-range attack at Zhao Feng. Meow meow. The little thieving cat listened to Zhao Feng's will and waved the dark golden dragon snake whip toward the non-human Sacred Lord. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms, you're still using these little tricks against me? Zhao Feng could not help but sneer. Wang, the Earth of Wind Lightning Sacred Power and the Sacred Lightning Physical Force around Zhao Feng started to twist together and form a dark yellow barrier of wind lightning. The thousands of swords of sharp metal stabbed into Zhao Feng's sacred lightning protection, but they were stopped after piercing half an inch into it. The wind lightning barrier around Zhao Feng released a flash of dark golden lightning that shattered the golden sword lights. At the same time, a portion of the Earth of Wind Lightning Sacred Power shot towards Sacred Lord Myriad Forms. Wang, Sacred Lord Myriad Form's eyes focused as a shield of wind lightning appeared in front of him and blocked the damage from Zhao Feng's sacred lightning protection. Your cultivation has increased so quickly. How can you still have battle power of this level? Sacred Lord Myriad Form's eyes focused as he stared at Zhao Feng. When Sacred Lord Myriad Forms first fought with Zhao Feng was only a quasi-sacred lord. After a few years, Sacred Lord Myriad Form's cultivation hadn't increased at all, but Zhao Feng had reached the early stages of the Mystic Light Realm. Furthermore, Sacred Lord Myriad Forms originally thought that Zhao Feng had forcefully increased his cultivation to the early stages of the Mystic Light Realm in order to explore the fortune here. However, even he was slightly afraid of the power that Zhao Feng displayed now. What's with all the bullshit? Zhao Feng laughed coldly as he released the projection of his little world of wind lightning and the physical force lightning domain towards Sacred Lord Myriad Forms. Zhao Feng's cultivation had indeed increased very quickly, but no one knew how many precious resources and substandard god crystals Zhao Feng had used in order to increase his cultivation. At this moment, Zhao Feng's cultivation was the same as Sacred Lord Myriad Forms. In terms of physical attacks, Zhao Feng wasn't scared of Sacred Lord Myriad Forms at all. In terms of the soul, Zhao Feng completely suppressed Sacred Lord Myriad Forms. Lord Black Poison, Lord Purple Poison. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms was about to ask for help from the two sacred kings in the group when he saw how strong Zhao Feng was. But when he looked to the side, he was stunned again. The two sacred kings of the Snakemen race were on par with Nan Gongxing and Zhao Yufei. They were on par with each other. On the other side, the early-stage Sacred Lord was completely suppressed by the little thieving cat and couldn't fight back at all. Wind Lightning Eye Flame. Zhao Feng circulated his left eye and unleashed an eye bloodline technique while Sacred Lord Myriad Forms was distracted. A purple and gold lightning fire instantly exploded in Sacred Lord Myriad Form's head. With Zhao Feng's late-stage Mystic Light Realm soul intent, just one Wind Lightning Eye Flame was enough to deal with Sacred Lord Myriad Forms. Forbidden Illusion Lost World. Zhao Feng used the Tao of Illusions once more. In an instant, Sacred Lord Myriad Form's eyes were attracted by Zhao Feng's left eye and fell into a limitless maze of illusions. I'll be taking the eyes of Myriad Forms. Zhao Feng was overjoyed. At this moment, Zhao Feng could completely suppress Sacred Lord Myriad Forms and use his soul attack to kill him. However, if he did that, Sacred Lord Myriad Form's soul would be destroyed, and the eyes of Myriad Forms would disappear. Ever since he completed the second level of the soul-splitting technique, Zhao Feng had an idea. He wanted to merge a pair of eyes from the 8 Great God Eyes into his second clone. This was because the clone of a normal Sacred Lord would have a portion of the battle power of the main body after it was created. On the other hand, Zhao Feng's soul clone needed time to grow. However, if Zhao Feng merged the eyes from the 8 Great God Eyes into his clone, it would increase the speed at which his clone's strength increased. Zhao Feng estimated that if Zhao Wang didn't have the Eyes of Death, his cultivation speed would decrease by at least 60%. Therefore, Zhao Feng wanted to help his second clone obtain an inheritance from the 8 Great God Eyes in order to increase the speed at which his clone grew stronger. On the other hand, the comprehension and experience of his clone would be transferred to Zhao Feng's consciousness. If Zhao Feng's second clone had the eyes of Myriad Forms, then Zhao Feng wouldn't need to worry about comprehending the 5 elements at all. This would be of great help to Zhao Feng's 5-elemental wind lightning technique. However, right at this moment, the red-haired non-human Sacred Lord charged toward Zhao Feng. Wrath of the Fire Dragon. The red-haired non-human Sacred Lord released a bright scarlet-red mystic light sacred power that formed an invisible flaming dragon that crushed toward Zhao Feng. The flaming dragon spat out terrifying flames of sacred power that dyed the walls of the dimension red and gave off a scorching heat. What powerful fire elemental power! Zhao Feng's heart jumped. As expected, he couldn't underestimate any late-stage Mystic Light Realm's Sacred Lord. Sky-destroying Sacred Lightning Palm. Zhao Feng's expression became grim as he circulated his Mystic Light sacred power and thrust out a giant scarlet golden palm of lightning. This non-human Sacred Lord had interrupted Zhao Feng at this critical moment, so he wouldn't show mercy. Boom! The two terrifying fire elemental powers clashed together. Zhao Feng's scarlet golden palm of lightning instantly exploded with dazzling scarlet golden lightning that shattered the flaming dragon. After destroying the flaming dragon, the remaining power of the sky-destroying sacred lightning palm crushed toward the non-human Sacred Lord. Boom! This non-human Sacred Lord was slammed into the wall behind him by Zhao Feng's palm. Several cracks appeared on his sacred body, and a scorching blood-colored flame started to burn his wounds. Zhao Feng looked at Sacred Lord Myriad Forms once more after finishing off this Sacred Lord. Right at this moment, a weird light flashed through Sacred Lord Myriad Forms' eyes. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms soon broke free from Zhao Feng's forbidden illusion lost world. He was covered in cold sweat as he looked at Zhao Feng in fear. Wang, Sacred Lord Myriad Forms used the intent of wind lightning to quickly retreat. He obviously knew that he had been trapped by Zhao Feng's illusion for a few breaths. If it wasn't for the fact that he had the eyes of Myriad Forms and his soul resistance was slightly stronger, he would have never woken up. He didn't expect Zhao Feng to not only increase his cultivation so quickly, but his soul intent hadn't fallen behind either. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms suddenly realized that with Zhao Feng's powerful soul intent, there was no need for him to spend so much effort to deal with him. Zhao Feng probably wanted something from him. Lord Black Poison, Lord Purple Poison, let's retreat. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms immediately messaged the two Sacred Kings. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms knew that he wasn't Zhao Feng's match anymore. What? The three of you? Sacred King Black Poison had a grim expression. He originally thought that Nan Gongxing and Zhao Yufei were the strongest of the three, and that Sacred Lord Myriad Forms and the other two Sacred Lords would be able to easily finish off Zhao Feng. However, in just a short while, the early-stage Mystic Light Realm Sacred Lord was defeated by a little cat, and the late-stage Mystic Light Realm non-human Sacred Lord was severely injured by Zhao Feng. Let's go, Purple Poison. Sacred King Black Poison's eyes spun as he messaged Sacred King Purple Poison. From the current situation, Zhao Feng's strength wasn't any weaker than Nan Gongxing or Zhao Yufei. Once Sacred Lord Myriad Forms was defeated, the two of them would face the combined attacks of Zhao Feng and company. Damn it, these three humans? Sacred King Purple Poison had a hateful expression. They originally thought that they would easily win, but it became such a difficult battle. In the end, they had to retreat. The two Sacred Kings of the Snake Men race immediately used an escape technique and escaped with Sacred Lord Myriad Forms. After them, Zhao Feng roared. He almost obtained the eyes of Myriad Forms just now. If he lost this chance, he didn't know if he would be able to meet Sacred Lord Myriad Forms in the future. Zhao Feng, Nan Gongxing, and Zhao Yufei immediately chased after them. The little thieving cat's dark golden dragon snake whip turned into a dark golden rope that wrapped around the two Sacred Lords and dragged them into the misty spatial world. No one can catch up to me. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms revealed a smile. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms didn't have much confidence in escaping from Zhao Feng if he ran away alone, but it was different if he ran away with two Sacred Kings. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms' eyes focused, and a rainbow-colored Myriad Forms' sacred power instantly appeared behind them. In the space, an extreme ice storm appeared out of nowhere. Ice Imperial Spear. A layer of ice-blue liquid appeared in the air and turned into a dark blue screen that covered Nan Gongxing, Zhao Yufei, and Zhao Yufei as well. Zhao Feng and company passed through the icy storm without any obstruction. Chapter 1079. Ice Imperial Spear. A layer of ice-blue liquid appeared in the air and turned into a dark blue screen that covered the three of them. The effect of the icy storm on them was instantly blocked, and the three of them were able to easily pass through it and chase after the three non-humans. Damn it, this brat! Sacred Lord Myriad Forms' eyebrows furrowed. He forgot that Zhao Feng also specialized in the laws of water. However, even then, it would still be difficult for Zhao Feng and company to catch up to Sacred Lord Myriad Forms and the other two Sacred Kings. You still dare to chase after us? Sacred King Black Poison couldn't help but snicker coldly when he saw Zhao Feng and company chasing after them. He and Sacred King Purple Poison were afraid that Zhao Feng and company would attack them after Sacred Lord Myriad Forms was defeated. If that happened, their chances of winning wouldn't be high. This was why the two non-human Sacred Kings chose to retreat. Extreme Purple Poison Blade. Sacred King Purple Poison suddenly turned around and slashed out with the short purple blade in his hand. A dark purple light flashed on it, and one could feel that it was filled with lethal poison with just one glance. Zhao Feng, Nan Gongxing, and Zhao Yufei had experience working together before, so they immediately released their little world projections. Three terrifyingly domineering projections of the little worlds twisted together and blocked in front of them. The purple light was blocked by their little world projections, and the mystic light sacred power on it was slowly worn away. However, because of this, Zhao Feng and company's speed slowed down. Brother Feng, although we have the advantage in a head-on fight, it's more than twice as hard to chase after them. Zhao Yufei messaged at this moment. Zhao Feng, there's no need for us to chase after them, right? Nan Gongxing asked curiously. Usually, there wouldn't be any deaths in a fight between experts of the same cultivation. Defeating and killing weren't on the same level. Nan Gongxing didn't think that they would be able to kill a sacred king. Furthermore, they were chasing after a small group, which made it even more difficult. Help me capture Sacred Lord Myriad Forms, and I'll give you guys priority in the future. Zhao Feng stated his goal. Nan Gongseng's eyes darkened. Zhao Feng's offer was indeed very tempting. Nan Gongseng and Zhao Feng had worked together many times. Every time, Zhao Feng was the first to discover resources and opportunities, and every time, it was Zhao Feng who benefited the most. This was partly because of Zhao Feng's eye bloodline and partly because of the little thieving cat. However, Zhao Feng wanted to capture Sacred Lord Myriad Forms. The difficulty of capturing someone was much higher than killing them. Zhao Yufei nodded thoughtfully. Since Zhao Feng mentioned Sacred Lord Myriad Forms as his target, Zhao Yufei immediately understood that Zhao Feng was interested in the eyes of Myriad Forms. If that was the case, then Zhao Yufei would definitely do her best to help Zhao Feng. The three of them finally came to an agreement and decided to continue chasing after them. They had to capture them as soon as possible. After all, the god corpse was filled with danger. If it weren't for the eyes of Myriad Forms, Zhao Feng wouldn't have chased after them. Zhao Feng took out the sky-locking bow and shot out a scarlet arrow of lightning. Nan Gongxing circulated his purple and blood-colored light and waved his hand, creating several purple and blood-colored figures that charged forward. Zhao Yufei controlled the Heaven-Earth Yuan Qi to block the three in front of her. Humans, don't be so ungrateful. You won't be able to catch up to us. This will only waste everyone's time. Sacred King Black Poison unleashed a screen of black water that weakened the attacks of Zhao Feng and company. Sacred King Purple Poison then blocked all the attacks of Zhao Feng and company. Sacred King Black Poison was extremely angry. He never thought that they would face a situation like this right after entering the god corpse, being chased by a group of humans. Furthermore, they were being chased by three sacred lords. This was a humiliation that he had never experienced before. Damn it, these humans! Sacred Lord Myriad Forms cursed. There were countless fortunes in the god corpse. Why was Zhao Feng and company so determined to chase after them? If we meet other non-humans, it will be their death. Sacred King Purple Poison snickered coldly. Although that was the case, it would be bad if they met a group of humans. Zhao Feng's eyebrows furrowed as he chased after them. There was nothing he could do if two Sacred Kings and Sacred Lord Myriad Forms wanted to run. Zhao Feng even wanted to use a substandard god-slaying arrow, but he only had 4 substandard god-slaying arrows right now. Zhao Feng was still hesitating. Boom! Nan Gongseng condensed a purple and blood-colored divine light and thrust out a demonic claw with purple and blood-colored patterns. This claw contained a faint wisp of divine power, and it gave off a terrifying aura. Seeing this, the two non-human sacred kings circulated their mystic light sacred power and unleashed an attack to block Nan Gongxing's attack. Boom! A huge shockwave of Saint power spread out. Crack! The bright white crystal wall on one side instantly shattered. A terrifying aura that shook heaven and earth surged out, causing the Heaven-Earth Yuan Qi nearby to tremble. This is? Zhao Feng's footsteps stopped as he looked at the shattered crystal wall. It actually cracked? Sacred Lord Myriad Forms and company that were running away also stopped. Everyone knew that the crystal wall within the god corpse was extremely tough. Even if the halves teamed up, it would be extremely difficult to leave a mark on it. However, the shockwaves from their battle had actually shattered the crystal wall. All of this was too weird. 1. Zhao Feng's left eye glowed with a faint golden ripple that pierced through everything and peered into the shattered crystal wall. That's... Zhao Feng's expression changed, and disbelief filled his face. There was a rather large dimension within the shattered crystal wall. There were several dozen white crystal pillars, and at the very center, Zhao Feng saw a ball of white light that radiated divine light in every direction. The instant Zhao Feng and company appeared, the countless crystal pillars instantly released a powerful aura, and surges of powerful intent started to awaken. Boom! One of the crystal pillars turned into a crystal giant that charged out. Boom! The countless crystal pillars started to awaken one after another and started to move. This crystal giant is different from the blood crystal Yao spirits from before. The bloodline aura from this crystal giant is weaker, but it contains more divine power. Zhao Feng immediately concluded as he inspected the crystal giants. They seemed to be even stronger than the blood crystal Yao spirits from before. Nan Gongsheng's expression became grim as he felt the aura from the other party. The blood crystal Yao spirits from before hadn't reached the level of a sacred king, but their attacks had reached the level of a sacred king. However, the crystal giants in front of him were sacred king-level Yao spirits. Nan Gongsheng, there's the aura of divine power inside. The evil god mental thought body's voice sounded from within Nan Gongsheng's body. Nan Gongsheng revealed a crazed and greedy expression. He could obviously feel the aura of divine power as well. The aura of divine power was extremely forceful and seemed to be even stronger than the power of the evil god. Most importantly, if he could obtain this divine power, he might be able to neutralize the power of the evil god within his body. Human, let's team up for now and take what's inside. Being a sacred king Black Poison could obviously feel the aura of divine power inside. If he could obtain that ball of divine power, breaking through to the heavenly divine realm wouldn't be a problem. This divine power aura is leaking out. Very soon, it will attract even more teams. Sacred King Purple Poison had a wicked smile. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms hesitated for a moment. When he was being chased by Zhao Feng and company, Sacred Lord Myriad Forms knew that Zhao Feng and company wanted to kill him, and Zhao Feng probably wanted the eyes of Myriad Forms from him. Sacred Kings, please pay attention to Zhao Feng. Since the two Sacred Kings wanted to team up with Zhao Feng and company, Sacred Lord Myriad Forms obviously couldn't just leave by himself. Sure, what we get will depend on our own abilities. Zhao Feng thought for a moment before saying. Of course, Zhao Feng had gotten the approval of Zhao Yufei and Nan Gongsheng before making this decision. The sudden appearance of this divine power would definitely attract more groups. It was better to take advantage of the fact that this divine power aura hadn't attracted any other groups yet and start to dig out what was inside. Sacred King Black Poison and company knew this very well. Once a demigod came, they wouldn't even be able to get a share. That's even better. Sacred King Black Poison revealed a wicked smile. It didn't matter if Sacred King Black Poison used the trump card he had prepared for a long time for that ball of divine power. Let's go together. Zhao Feng immediately roared. Bush, bush, bush. The six of them charged in through the hole. Sacred King Black Poison then released a little world filled with black lines and blocked the opening. This was to reduce the amount of divine power leaking out and buy time for themselves. The two groups huddled together. It was obvious that they didn't trust each other completely. Boom. Zhao Feng, Nan Gongsheng, and Zhao Yufei teamed up and faced two crystal giants. The three of them instantly released their battle power and attacked the same crystal giant at the same time. That was the only way to destroy these crystal giants as quickly as possible. On the other hand, Zhao Feng and Zhao Yufei had strong defense, and Nan Gongsheng had a substandard god weapon. The three of them were able to take the attacks of the other crystal giant head-on for a short period of time and attack one with all their strength. Blood Demon Claw. Purple Jade Charge. Sky-destroying Sacred Lightning Palm. Zhao Feng and company used this time to attack one of the crystal giants. Holy light filled the sky and bombarded the crystal giant's body. Shameless humans. The crystal giant couldn't withstand the attacks of Zhao Feng and company, so it turned around and tried to retreat. Forbidden Illusion Lost World. Zhao Feng suddenly used an illusion eye bloodline technique just as the crystal giant was about to escape and attract its attention. At the same time, Nan Gongsheng and Zhao Yufei circulated their mystic light sacred power and unleashed a lethal attack. Hand of the Evil Sky. Purple Saint Flowing Light Strike. Boom. The crystal giant's body shattered and exploded due to the perfect teamwork of Zhao Feng and company. At the same time, many bright white crystal beads fell from its body. These are substandard god crystals. Zhao Feng and company exclaimed at the same time. The crystal giant dropped a total of 3 substandard god crystals. Zhao Feng and company each took one. On the other side, Sacred King Black Poison's group had also successfully killed a crystal giant and obtained some substandard god crystals. The quality of these substandard god crystals isn't normal. Zhao Feng's eyes twinkled. Zhao Feng had used many substandard god crystals to cultivate before, so he could tell the difference between the two with one glance. The substandard god crystals within the crystal giant's body contained purer and more powerful energy. There was even a faint wisp of the aura of a god. Let's finish them off quickly. More crystal giants are coming. Nan Gongxing immediately said. Killing a crystal giant would give them substandard god crystals as a reward. However, there were more than a dozen crystal giants in this cave, and they were slowly awakening. Both groups obviously realized this problem. Right now, they were only facing 2 or 3 crystal giants. However, if all the crystal giants here woke up and attacked at the same time, they could only retreat. Boom. Everyone put more effort into attacking the crystal giants. Even Zhao Feng used some offensive eye bloodline techniques from time to time. Although everyone was attacking the crystal giants with all their might, almost all of their attention was on the golden white ball of divine power at the top of the cave. Chapter 1080. Anyone who dares to enter will die here. Inside the cave, another giant crystal giant awakened. Zhao Feng's group and Sacred Lord Myriad Form's group started to feel a heavy pressure. Brother Feng, if this continues, the situation won't be good. Zhao Yufei's expression became solemn. Her entire body was shrouded in a layer of amethyst light, and with every move she made, she dragged a trail of amethyst light behind her and bombarded the crystal giant. Nan Gongxing and Zhao Yufei's battle power had reached the level of a sacred king, and they could even stall non-human sacred kings like Black Poison and Purple Poison. However, both of them had used their full strength. Nan Gongxing had used the power of the evil god, and Zhao Yufei had used her spiritual race bloodline. However, even then, they weren't able to gain any advantage against the 2 sacred kings. On the contrary, it was Zhao Feng who defeated the other sacred lords and turned the tide of the battle. At this moment, it was extremely difficult for them to kill the crystal giants that had the battle power of a sacred king. Adding on the fact that the other crystal giants were also participating in the battle, even Zhao Feng felt a sense of danger. On the other hand, Nan Gongxing became fiercer and fiercer as he fought, but only Zhao Feng and Zhao Yufei knew that Nan Gongxing had used too much of the power of the evil god. His personality had been twisted, and he had been blinded by greed. In reality, Nan Gongxing was completely exhausted. I'll use my soul eye bloodline techniques to stall them. You two attack their hearts. Zhao Feng immediately said. Zhao Feng's physical strength wasn't as strong as Nan Gongxing and Zhao Yufei, so it was better to leave the attacking position to them. On the other hand, Zhao Feng used his soul eye bloodline techniques to interfere with the crystal giants while using his other techniques to block the attacks of the other 2 crystal giants. Weakening and blocking the attacks of the sacred King Yao spirits was a difficult task for Zhao Feng. Forbidden illusion lost world. Limitless soul power from his lightning soul body flowed into his left eye. Zhao Feng's left eye turned into a limitless purple and gold maze world that radiated a fatal suction force that interfered with the consciousness of the crystal giants in front of him. Holy light strike. Purple light flashed around Zhao Yufei's body as she condensed a surge of mystic light sacred power that landed on the chest of one of the crystal giants. Evil sky shattering devil claw. A purple and blood-red light flashed in Nan Gongxing's eyes as a wicked and terrifying purple and blood-red sacred power formed a giant demonic claw that tore through the crystal giant's chest with lightning-fast speed. The crystal giant suddenly regained its consciousness after being attacked. It let out a furious roar and swung its arms, preparing to attack. Soul confusion. Zhao Feng's left eye focused again and released an illusory mental energy that lingered around the crystal giant's soul consciousness and interfered with it. At the same time, the crystal giant's attack suddenly descended. Zhao Feng merged the physical force lightning domain and the little world of wind lightning to weaken and block it. Nan Gongxing also took out the gold pond shield and blocked another terrifying attack. Continue to attack, Zhao Feng said in a hurry. Just like that, the trio worked together and attacked the crystal giant's weaknesses, severely injuring it. Every time the crystal giant was about to attack, Zhao Feng would use his soul eye bloodline techniques to disrupt it. It's about to die. Nan Gongseng roared as he circulated a wisp of divine power and unleashed a fierce attack. On the other side, Sacred King Black Poison's group was facing 3 crystal giants at the same time, and they were facing a lot of pressure as well. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms hid behind the 2 Sacred Kings and used his eyes of Myriad Forms to block the crystal giants and support the 2 Sacred Kings. The eyes of Myriad Forms specialized in the laws of nature, and the laws it condensed were pure and could be used to support the 2 Sacred Kings. The power and defense of these crystal giants are too strong. Sacred King Purple Poison felt that this was troublesome. However, it wasn't the critical moment yet, so he couldn't use his hidden cards easily. On the other hand, he had to be wary of Zhao Feng and company. Their group has an expert that specializes in soul eye bloodline techniques, so it's easier than ours. Sacred King Black Poison had an ugly expression as he stared at Zhao Feng. The soul intent of these crystal giants was weak, but their power and defense were strong. Wind Lightning Eye Flame. A purple flame flashed in Zhao Feng's left eye as it released a terrifying undulation of eye bloodline power. The next instant, the severely injured crystal giant that was about to run away had its head explode, and a ball of purple and gold lightning fire spread across its body. Nan Gongseng and Zhao Yufei then chased after this crystal giant. Boom! Nan Gongseng grabbed the crystal giant's heart and took out the substandard god crystal within. The second one. Zhao Feng felt slightly tired. Zhao Feng had used up a lot of his sacred power and eye intent from the start of the battle. Nan Gongseng's current situation wasn't much different from Zhao Feng's. Although he had broken through to the late stages of the mystic light realm, his cultivation wasn't stable and his offensive intent wasn't strong enough. On the other hand, although Zhao Yufei was only at the early stages of the mystic light realm, her aura was abnormally stable. She kept attacking and maintaining a certain rhythm. There's not much time left. Quickly finish off these crystal giants. Nan Gongseng roared with a bloodthirsty and insane expression. Humans, how about this? Everyone take out their trump cards and finish off these troublesome foes. Sacred King Black Poison suddenly said from the other side. The 2 groups were both on guard, and this greatly decreased the efficiency of the battle. The 6 of them had used up a lot of energy, and they were all injured. If this dragged on, they would attract the attention of other groups. Just as Zhao Feng was thinking, a disturbance of aura came from outside the crystal wall. The other groups are coming. Nan Gongseng's heart tightened. Is it a humanoid or a human? Sacred King Black Poison's heart shook. If there were only 6 of them, the spoils would be split evenly between the 2 groups. However, now that another group was approaching, Sacred King Black Poison could only hope that it was a humanoid group. It's the non-humans. Zhao Feng's left eye saw through the crystal walls and saw the non-human experts flying over. If he wasn't wrong, one of them was the Grand Elder of Demonic Sky Palace, Demigod Destruction, a descendant of one of the non-humans' 8 great god eyes. Zhao Feng's pupils contracted as he felt a sense of life-threatening danger. The others here didn't know anything and were just waiting for the other group to arrive. Zhao Feng was just about to tell Nan Gongseng, Zhao Yufei, and company about this information. 1. Boom. Boom. Right at this moment, a strong disturbance of consciousness came from the ball of light above the cave, and a terrifying aura that could suppress the universe started to spread. All the crystal giants in the cave started to tremble and stop attacking. What's going on? Sacred King Black Poison's expression turned to surprise as he looked at the ball of divine power. How is this possible? Could it be? Zhao Feng's expression turned to surprise as he stared at the ball of white divine light with his left eye and took in a cold breath. This ball of light has its own consciousness? Could it have become a Yao spirit like the crystal giants? Zhao Feng was stunned. His left eye saw something that others couldn't see. If it was just a surge of divine power, they would still be able to take it. However, this surge of divine power had its own consciousness. It was a Yao spirit. How terrifying would a Yao spirit that could use this divine power be? Demigod Destruction, divine power, Yao spirit. At this moment, Only Zhao Feng felt these two life-threatening dangers, but he still acted normally on the surface. Little thieving cat. Zhao Feng circulated his intent and communicated with the little thieving cat, who was hiding in the darkness. On the other side, Sacred King Black Poison, Sacred King Purple Poison, and Sacred Lord Myriad Forms were attracted by the disturbance of divine power above the cave. After all, they had teamed up to attack this place for this surge of divine power. Suddenly, a streak of silver light flashed behind Sacred Lord Myriad Forms. Meow meow. The little thieving cat gripped a normal metal shovel with both hands and smashed it against Sacred Lord Myriad Form's head. When the little thieving cat used the metal shovel, it could transfer the stun effect of its paws onto the metal shovel and combine it with the power of the metal shovel, making its control even stronger. Sacred Lord Myriad Form's mind instantly started to tremble. Ding! The little thieving cat took off the necklace around its neck and turned into the shadow of a dark golden dragon that wrapped around Sacred Lord Myriad Forms. The dark golden dragon snake whip that wrapped around Sacred Lord Myriad Forms had the effect of numbing and absorbing mystic light sacred power, making Sacred Lord Myriad Forms feel powerless. Meow meow. After doing all this, the little thieving cat opened its mouth, and a green dot of light appeared. This green dot of light was the cloud silkworm Saint Butterfly. The cloud silkworm Saint Butterfly immediately flapped its wings, and a wave of half-transparent pollen formed a beautiful whirlwind that surrounded Sacred Lord Myriad Forms and spread in every direction. The little thieving cat was extremely agile, and it only took an instant to do all this. Sacred King Black Poison and Sacred King Purple Poison, who were attracted by the change in the divine light, reacted, and their expressions changed dramatically as they prepared to take action. At this moment, the cloud silkworm Saint Butterfly opened its mouth and spat out 5-colored sacred light silk that pierced through the air. The combination of the cloud silkworm Saint Silk and the dream pollen greatly disturbed the two sacred kings. In the next instant, the little thieving cat dragged the defenseless Sacred Lord Myriad Forms and turned into a streak of dark silver light that disappeared. Humans, what are you doing? Sacred King Black Poison was stunned. From the little thieving cat's actions just now, he knew that Zhao Feng had planned this a long time ago. The little thieving cat's timing was perfect. The arrival of another group and the sudden change in the divine light caused their attention to wander and their guard to drop. Zhao Feng, what are you doing? Nan Gongsheng's expression froze. It was obvious that Zhao Feng didn't tell them what he did just now. It's the non-human demigod destruction. Let's go. Zhao Feng messaged the two of them and told them about this before waving his left hand and using the misty spatial world. What? The expressions of Nan Gongsheng and Zhao Yufei changed dramatically. They didn't doubt what Zhao Feng said. If the group that was coming over was really a non-human demigod, then they might die here. Boom. Right at this moment, several non-humans charged through the crack in the crystal wall. The leader was covered in black scales and had a horn on his head. It was Demigod Destruction. Humans, stay here. Demigod Destruction's eyes shot out a bright golden light as he looked at Zhao Feng and company. However, it was too late. The figures of Zhao Feng and company disappeared with a flash of silver. Demigod Destruction's attack missed and landed on the crystal giant behind him. Senior Destruction. Sacred King Black Poison and Purple Poison King had respectful expressions. He was happy that the group that was coming over was a non-human, but he didn't expect that there would be a demigod in this non-human group. On top of that, Zhao Feng and company suddenly took action and left after capturing Sacred Lord Myriad Forms. It was as if they knew that the group that was coming over was Demigod Destruction's group. But how was that possible? The divine sense of a Sacred Lord couldn't pass through the crystal walls unless they touched the level of a demigod. Demigod Destruction's divine sense was very weak here, so Demigod Destruction sensed Zhao Feng and immediately attacked Zhao Feng the moment he entered. Sacred King Black Poison and Purple Poison King were just about to explain the situation. Boom! The ceiling of the cave suddenly caved in, and a giant heavy figure descended in front of them. Chapter 1081. The ceiling of the crystal cave started to shatter. Boom! A heavy and enormous figure descended in front of everyone. A ball of white divine light flashed in the center of this figure and radiated a terrifying aura. When the dust settled, a giant crystal monster appeared in front of Demigod Destruction, Sacred King Black Poison, and Sacred King Purple Poison. This crystal monster had clear facial features, and its crystallized body contained countless tiny white lines that seemed to be its meridians. The center of these lines was a ball of golden white divine light. Did you enter Master's body to steal his power? The crystal giant looked at the humans in front of it and spoke in a cold tone. It was as if it was a king that looked down on the world. Facing the terrifying aura of the divine power crystal giant, Sacred King Black Poison, Sacred King Purple Poison, and the other sacred lords in Demigod Destruction's group started to sweat. This instinctive suppression made them unable to even think of resisting. The ball of divine power has turned into a Yao spirit. Does this crystal Yao spirit have the power of a true god? Sacred King Black Poison had a stunned expression. At the start, they, Zhao Feng, and company wanted to steal this ball of divine power. However, this ball of divine power had formed its own consciousness and turned into a Yao spirit. Your master died a long time ago. What he left behind belongs to whoever obtains it. Demigod Destruction squinted his eyes as he inspected the divine power crystal giant in front of him. The crystal giant's energy source was the ball of white divine power, but that didn't mean that the crystal giant could directly use its power. If it could use this power, it would mean that it had reached the heavenly divine realm. When it used this power, it would be rejected by this world, and it would be summoned by the ancient desolate realm of gods. It would enter the ancient desolate realm of gods. Therefore, Demigod Destruction was certain that the Yao spirit in front of him wasn't as terrifying as he imagined it to be. Sacred King Black Poison's heart shook as he looked at Demigod Destruction. Demonic Sky Palace was originally just a normal 3-star power, but because Sacred King Destruction had touched the level of a demigod not long ago, Demonic Sky Palace became a peak 3-star power of the Dark Moon Lord dynasty. Although Demigod Destruction had just become a demigod not long ago, he had the eyes of destruction. Even the demigods of the Dark Moon Lord dynasty that had lived for several dozen millennia weren't his match. Therefore, with the death of the demigod, it was very likely that the Demonic Sky Palace would become another 4-star sect in the Dark Moon dynasty. You think you can get Master's power? The divine power crystal giant couldn't help but snicker. Buzz. The ball of god power at the heart of the god power crystal giant flashed slightly. A terrifying god aura spread from his body. The white crystal veins in the god power crystal giant's body suddenly flashed with faint light. Only those who stay here can have a share of the loot. Demigod Destruction's eyes were as bright as the sun as they radiated the intent of destruction that could destroy heaven and earth. Demigod Destruction couldn't force the other sacred lords to stay, but if they could help, they would be able to reduce the pressure on him. This was why Demigod Destruction said such a thing. Senior Destruction will help you. The Black Poison and Purple Poison Saint Kings chose to stay behind. The 2 early-stage Sacred Lords of the Demigod Destruction group immediately left. Sacred Lords at the early stages of the Mystic Light Realm didn't dare to participate in a battle between gods. Giant God Seal. The Divine Power Crystal Giant stepped forward and waved its fist, condensing an ancient golden seal that crushed toward Demigod Destruction and company with the power to suppress the 9 heavens. Light of Destruction. Demigod Destruction's eyes suddenly changed, and they started to flash with a golden light that shone brightly in the world. At the edge of the god corpse, the figures of Zhao Feng and company slowly appeared in a layer of silver. This was the entrance that Zhao Feng and company had used to enter the god corpse. Zhao Feng had used the misty spatial world to leave a spatial mark here at the start of the operation. So close. It's Demigod Destruction. Nan Gongxing gritted his teeth and said, even if Demigod Destruction didn't come, we still needed to leave. That ball of divine power has already formed its own consciousness. Zhao Feng said honestly. What? It formed its own consciousness? Nan Gongxing was doubtful. Let's recover and consolidate our strength here. Zhao Feng suggested. Everyone had used up a lot of energy in the battle just now, and they were all injured to varying degrees. Furthermore, Zhao Feng, Nan Gongxing, and Zhao Yufei had all forcefully increased their cultivation because they were in a rush to explore this place. Their foundations were extremely unstable, and Nan Gongxing's was the weakest. That's a good idea, Zhao Yufei said with a smile. The god corpse was undoubtedly the best place for her spiritual race bloodline to cultivate. A substandard god crystal appeared in Zhao Yufei's hand. This was the substandard god crystal that they had obtained from killing the crystal giant, and it was of extremely high quality. Zhao Feng, why do you want to capture Sacred Lord Myriad Forms? Nan Gongxing asked at this moment. Just now, everyone was facing danger at the same time in the cave, but Zhao Feng was still able to capture Sacred Lord Myriad Forms. From this, one could see how stubborn Zhao Feng was towards Sacred Lord Myriad Forms. I'm slightly interested in the eyes of Myriad Forms. Zhao Feng gave a faint smile. Nan Gongxing and Zhao Yufei had only obtained a few substandard god crystals from the battle in the cave, which wasn't much. It could be said that Zhao Feng, who had captured Sacred Lord Myriad Forms, was the person who had gained the most. After saying that, he entered the misty spatial world. Zhao Feng, what do you want to do? Sacred Lord Myriad Forms' muffled voice sounded. At this moment, Sacred Lord Myriad Forms was tied up by the little thieving cat. The cloud silkworm Saint Butterfly floated in the air above Sacred Lord Myriad Forms and radiated a powerful bloodline pressure. It would occasionally flap its wings and scatter a layer of dream pollen that made Sacred Lord Myriad Forms exhausted. On the other side, the little thieving cat would occasionally swing its spade and hit Sacred Lord Myriad Form's head. Gaze of the God Eye. A shocking eye bloodline power appeared from Zhao Feng's left eye. In an instant, a bottomless purple whirlpool formed in Zhao Feng's left eye, and it was like a limitless purple abyss surrounded by mist. A forbidden power that targeted the soul-covered Sacred Lord Myriad Form's body. This move again. Sacred Lord Myriad Form's soul felt cold, and it started to leave his body uncontrollably. Zhao Feng's soul intent had reached the late stages of the mystic light realm. At this moment, Zhao Feng's gaze of the God Eye locked down Sacred Lord Myriad Form's soul. Adding on the fact that Sacred Lord Myriad Form's soul was extremely weak due to the large amount of dream pollen, he couldn't fight back at all. Shua. Sacred Lord Myriad Form's soul was sucked into the dimension of Zhao Feng's left eye. I'll enslave him first, then take the eyes of Myriad Forms after he leaves the god corpse. Zhao Feng thought for a moment and murmured. At this moment, Zhao Feng couldn't split his soul or else his soul intent would drop and he wouldn't be able to continue exploring this place. Furthermore, the enslaved Sacred Lord Myriad Forms could become Zhao Feng's helper. Zhao Feng knew how strong the eyes of Myriad Forms were. After making his decision, Zhao Feng entered the dimension of his left eye and slowly imprinted the Dark Heart seal into Sacred Lord Myriad Form's soul. Shua. Zhao Feng placed Sacred Lord Myriad Form's soul back into his body. Master, what are your orders? Sacred Lord Myriad Forms half knelt on the ground and asked respectfully. Recover from your injuries first and help me when the time comes. After dealing with Sacred Lord Myriad Forms, Zhao Feng started to cultivate and consolidate his foundation. Let's see the effect of the substandard god crystal within the crystal giant's body. A sparkling white gold crystal pearl appeared in Zhao Feng's hand. Zhao Feng circulated the 5-elemental wind lightning technique and started to absorb the energy within the substandard god crystal. At the same time, a blood-red crystal pearl appeared in Zhao Feng's hand. Zhao Feng multitasked as he inspected this crystal pearl that radiated a terrifying bloodline aura. This blood-red crystal pearl was something that Zhao Feng had obtained from the bottom of the pond. At the time, Zhao Feng hadn't had the time to inspect it. It seems to be a god crystal. Zhao Feng concluded after inspecting it for a long time. After all, Zhao Feng had seen an evil god crystal before, and he had a god crystal in his own little world of illusions. However, this god crystal was slightly different. Apart from a wisp of divine power and the essence of heaven and earth, there was also a surge of bloodline essence. Blood god crystal? Zhao Feng's expression changed. This was a god crystal that contained the bloodline of the god corpse. According to the guesses of the continent zone, It was very likely that this god corpse belonged to the giant god race, which was ranked 15th among the 10,000 ancient races. The giant god race was a terrifying ancient bloodline that was ranked even higher than the spiritual race. At this moment, the blood god crystal in Zhao Feng's hand might contain a wisp of the giant god race's bloodline. Zhao Feng put the blood god crystal away after calming himself down. The value of this blood god crystal was, without a doubt, even higher than Nan Gongsheng's evil god crystal. However, if Zhao Feng used this blood god crystal, it would be a waste of its value. Firstly, Zhao Feng's body contained the perfect blood devil sun bloodline, which had nothing in common with the giant god race bloodline. He didn't know what would happen if he used it rashly. Secondly, the quality of Zhao Feng's perfect blood devil sun bloodline was also very high. This wisp of giant god race bloodline might not even be as good as Zhao Feng's perfect blood devil sun bloodline. Meow meow. The little thieving cat walked over with the green spiritual gourd. Zhao Feng took out some of the blood-colored liquid from the pond and smeared it on his body before circulating his sacred lightning body. It can strengthen the bloodline and increase the power of one's state of existence. It also contains a wisp of the intent of earth. Zhao Feng was overjoyed. The effect of this blood-colored liquid was even better than the Sky Fire Lightning Ape bloodline. Most importantly, it contained a wisp of the intent of earth, which was beneficial for Zhao Feng's Earth of Wind Lightning sacred power. One day later, the physical aura radiating from Zhao Feng's body became stronger and stronger, and his sacred lightning body had improved to the early stages of the 6th level. The Earth of Wind Lightning in the 9th level of the 5-elemental wind lightning technique had also become more stable. After using a large amount of blood-colored liquid and some substandard god crystals, Zhao Feng had pretty much solved the problem of his unstable foundation from forcefully breaking through a few days ago. Zhao Feng left the misty spatial world. In just one day, Nan Gongsheng used the resources he had obtained to consolidate his cultivation and control his power. However, because his intent wasn't strong enough, he was still unable to control this power. It was just that his current state was slightly better than before. On the other side, Zhao Yufei was also improving rapidly. Her mystic light sacred power was even more condensed, and it was almost comparable to a sacred king's mystic light sacred power. However, just like Nan Gongsheng, Zhao Yufei's intent was too weak. Otherwise, their strength would have increased by another level. Let's go. There should be resources in the god corpse that can condense the soul and increase one's comprehension of intents. Zhao Feng said simply. Zhao Feng desperately needed resources in this area as well. The trio then moved out once more. One day ago, they hadn't even explored 1/10,000th of the entire god corpse, and that was only the outer regions. Chapter 1082. Within the god corpse, Zhao Feng, Nan Gongsheng, and Zhao Yufei flew through the complicated crystal pathways. Let's head to the center of the god corpse first. This was their goal. The resources and fortune in the center of the god corpse would definitely be better than the periphery. On the way, Zhao Feng would occasionally use his left eye to see through the crystal walls and search for treasures. Zhao Feng and company intentionally avoided some of the teams. When they encountered some precious resources, they took the initiative to fight with the other teams in the god corpse. Zhao Feng and company weren't weak, and they knew each other very well. Normal Sacred King groups wouldn't be able to do anything to them. I wonder what the result of the battle between Demigod Destruction and the Divine Power Crystal Giant was like? Nan Gongsheng murmured. It was obvious that he was still thinking about the ball of divine power. I don't know. Zhao Feng shook his head. However, according to his observations, the Yao spirit formed by the ball of divine power shouldn't be weaker than demigod destruction. Firstly, the defense of the Yao spirit was very strong. Secondly, it could use a wisp of divine power. Lastly, it might even have some of its master skills. With all these factors combined, even demigod destruction, who had the eyes of destruction, might not be its match. However, it was also possible that their battle would attract other groups. All in all, there were too many variables that couldn't be predicted. However, in reality, Zhao Feng also wanted the ball of divine power. At this moment, Zhao Feng's cultivation was high enough. In theory, he should be able to absorb divine power. This divine power wasn't like the power of the evil god in Nan Gongxing's body, so it wouldn't affect Zhao Feng's personality. Once Zhao Feng could use some divine power, he would have another hidden card. He would be able to unleash terrifying power that was as strong as Kun Yun and Nan Gongxing in the physical dimension. Furthermore, divine power would be of great help in breaking through to the heavenly divine realm in the future. Right at this moment, a loud rumble came from not far away from the god corpse. Zhao Feng and the others were immediately alarmed. Everyone could sense that the center of the explosion was extremely far away, but the power of the explosion had spread all the way here. It could be seen how terrifying the center of the explosion was. "Let's go take a look," Zhao Feng suggested. A faint golden ripple appeared in Zhao Feng's left eye, and the three of them started to approach the center of the explosion. A terrifying divine aura grew heavier and heavier, causing people to tremble in fear. They were getting closer and closer to the site of the explosion. "The crystal walls here have been destroyed." Nan Gongxing looked to the side and found that there were signs of damage on the crystal wall. Through the see-through ability of his left eye, Zhao Feng noticed that there were other teams approaching. They had obviously been attracted by the explosion. "What's that?" Zhao Feng's vision pierced through dozens of crystal walls and reached the limit. He saw some images. More than half of the crystal wall had been destroyed, and wisps of divine power leaked out from the cracks in the crystal wall, turning everything within a certain range into a forbidden ground. There were 2 heavily injured sacred kings and several sacred lords at the edge of the broken wall. These 2 sacred kings were Sacred King Black Poison and Sacred King Purple Poison, who Zhao Feng and company had met when they first entered the god corpse. There was also a non-human sacred lord that Zhao Feng recognized, Sacred Lord Sky Trampler. Sacred Lord Sky Trampler was the late-stage mystic light realm sacred lord of the Elephant Men race that had gone with Sacred Lord Myriad Forms to find Zhao Feng for revenge. There was also the tattered corpse of a non-human sacred lord not far away from them, and its soul had been completely destroyed. 2 figures then flew out from the center of the explosion. "Destruction, working with you this time was a huge loss." One of them was a muscular elephant man elder with dark yellow skin. His aura was weak, and his expression was ugly. "Demigod ferocity, if it weren't for my eyes of destruction, that divine power crystal giant would have ignited its divine power. If it weren't for my eyes of destruction, you would have died here." Demigod Destruction's golden eyes were dim. At the start, the strength that the divine power crystal giant displayed was far beyond what Demigod Destruction could handle. Demigod Destruction's group was chased for a while before encountering Demigod Ferocity of the Elephant Men race. The 2 demigods then teamed up to turn the tide and chase after the divine power crystal giant. In the end, the divine power crystal giant knew that it couldn't escape, so it exploded the ball of divine power within its body, resulting in the current situation. "We spent so much effort, but we didn't get anything." Demigod Ferocity had an angry expression. "Lord Ferocity." Demigod Ferocity's group bowed their heads and greeted him respectfully. They didn't dare to anger this demigod at this moment. "Let's go." Demigod Ferocity and his group were about to leave. "Demigod Ferocity, let me tell you some news. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms of your Elephant Men race has been captured by a human." Demigod Destruction said with a smile. "What? That brat Myriad Forms?" Demigod Ferocity's footsteps paused as his eyebrows furrowed. "Which human expert is it?" Demigod Ferocity asked. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms was very arrogant and did whatever he wanted. He didn't have a good relationship with the other members of his race. However, Sacred Lord Myriad Forms had the eyes of Myriad Forms and had great potential. He would definitely become a demigod in the future, so the race placed a lot of importance on him. "Hee, a human sacred lord, Zhao Feng." Demigod Destruction laughed with a hint of mockery. Zhao Feng was very famous during the war between the Lord dynasties. When he was a quasi-sacred lord, he used a special weapon to defeat Sacred Lord Myriad Forms, and after becoming a sacred lord, he defeated Sacred Lord Myriad Forms, who had come to take revenge. This time, Sacred Lord Myriad Forms, the owner of the Eyes of Myriad Forms, had been captured alive by Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng? Initial stages of the mystic light realm? Demigod Ferocity's expression was dead. It was obvious that he had heard about Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng had broken through to the early stages of the mystic light realm before entering the God Corpse, so most people didn't know about it. Demigod Ferocity snickered coldly and left with his group. At the same time, Demigod Destruction also quickly left with his group. This explosion was too terrifying, and both he and Demigod Ferocity were heavily injured. If they met a human demigod, they would be in danger. On the other side, Zhao Feng saw the situation at the center of the explosion with his left eye, and his heart shook as he looked at Demigod Ferocity. "Let's go," Zhao Feng immediately said before leaving with Nan Gongxing and Zhao Yufei. He didn't think that something like this would happen after capturing Sacred Lord Myriad Forms. Originally, Zhao Feng had to worry about Demigod Dark Ocean from Nine Darkness Palace in the God Corpse, and now he was being targeted by a non-human demigod. Demigods were the strongest experts on the continent. Even though Demigod Ferocity was heavily injured, he could still easily kill Zhao Feng. All he needed to do was move his fingers. There are two non-human demigods at the center of the explosion. Zhao Feng said when he saw that Nan Gongxing and Zhao Yufei were still curious about the situation at the center of the explosion. Hearing that, the expressions of Nan Gongxing and Zhao Yufei changed dramatically. Zhao Feng and company slowed down after traveling a long distance and started to recover their yuan qi. "Zhao Feng, what happened there? There are two demigods?" Nan Gongxing asked at this moment. Zhao Feng then told them what he saw. "That giant made of divine power ignite the ball of divine power?" Nan Gongxing let out a long breath and felt that it was a pity. However, there were many fortuitous encounters in the God Corpse, and there should be some divine power in other places as well. The trio set off once more after resting for a while. Bush, bush, bush. They only traveled a couple miles when they heard the sound of battle in front of them. A faint golden ripple covered Zhao Feng's left eye as it passed through the crystal wall in front of them. Three golden white figures shot out from a pile of crystals and headed in Zhao Feng's direction. "Chase after them. Don't let that sacred lord of the Grand Imperial Hall escape. They took away many substandard god crystals and precious resources." 5 alien race figures immediately chased out from the pile of crystals in the ruins. Sacred Lord Gonghuang? Zhao Feng saw a familiar person amongst the fleeing figures. Sacred Lord Gonghuang was the sacred lord of the Grand Imperial Hall that protected the 9th prince on the battlefield. There were two abnormally powerful auras among the non-humans chasing after them. In one of the white beams of light, a translucent green-skinned woman could be vaguely seen. She was charming and moving, and her speed was the fastest. Behind her was a tall, golden-haired, middle-aged man from a non-human race. He held an ancient and enormous long axe in his hand, and he emanated a horrifying aura. "We might be able to meet a human group," a male wearing green armor said from the group that was running with Sacred Lord Gonghuang. Although he was a sacred king, this male in green armor was severely injured. His right arm had been cut off, and his face was pale white. "It's a human group." Another sacred lord revealed a joyful expression when he saw Zhao Feng's figure. But then, his expression immediately darkened. Early-stage Mystic Light Realm? 3 Mystic Light Realm sacred lords? The green-armored male with the missing arm was the first to see Zhao Feng, and his heart dropped. He then sighed when he sensed the auras of the 2 sacred lords behind him. There were 6 non-humans chasing after them, and 2 of them were sacred kings. What could 3 normal sacred lords do against such a terrifying group? "It's Zhao Feng?" Sacred Lord Gonghuang was different from the other 2. He immediately exclaimed with joy. The 2 sacred lords in his group were both upper echelon members of the Grand Imperial Hall, and they were usually in seclusion. They didn't know the situation on the battlefield very well. Zhao Feng? Although the green-armored male didn't know what Zhao Feng looked like, he had heard the other sacred lords mention this name before. "Zhao Feng, can you help us?" Sacred Lord Gonghuang immediately asked. He obviously knew how strong Zhao Feng, Zhao Yufei, and Nan Gongxing were. Furthermore, their strength had increased. Although he didn't expect Zhao Feng and company to help them defeat the non-humans behind them, if Zhao Feng and company teamed up with Sacred Lord Gonghuang and company, they should be able to stop the non-humans behind them. The expressions of the green-armored male with the missing arm and the other Sacred Lord eased up slightly, and they revealed a look of joy. The expressions of the green-armored male with the missing arm and the other Sacred Lord relaxed slightly, and they revealed a look of joy. When they closely inspected the trio in front of them, they found that they were indeed different from the others. At the same time, the green-armored male also recognized Zhao Yufei, who had the bloodline of the spiritual race. "What's in it for me?" Zhao Feng's expression didn't change as he spoke. "What you?" The early-stage Sacred Lord in the group was instantly enraged. "Zhao Feng, we're all humans. It's normal for you to defend against the non-humans in times of danger, right?" The expression of the injured green-armored Sacred King became grim. If it wasn't for the fact that he was injured and couldn't do anything, he wouldn't be speaking so politely to Zhao Feng. At this moment, the 6 foreign race experts had already caught up to them. The 2 Sacred Kings at the front inspected Zhao Feng and company, and their solemn expressions relaxed as they gave faint smiles. "I thought that you found some powerful helpers, but it's just 3 normal Sacred Lords." The non-human female with transparent green body laughed coldly. Chapter 1083. "And I thought that you found some incredible helpers, but it's just 3 normal Sacred Lords." The translucent, emerald green female smiled coldly. "What's in it for me?" Zhao Feng said to the injured green-armored Sacred King. After all, if Zhao Feng and company helped, they would be facing 6 non-humans, and 2 of them were Sacred Kings. Zhao Feng really didn't want to help with something so dangerous and pointless. Nan Gongxing didn't want to help either. Furthermore, if this green-armored Sacred King met a human Sacred King or a demigod, he would definitely hand over a large amount of treasures and ask for help. This meant that even though the green-armored Sacred King and company were in danger, they still looked down on Zhao Feng and company because they were from the Grand Imperial Hall and wanted to order Zhao Feng and company around. The expressions of the injured green-armored male and the other Sacred Lord were extremely ugly. If it wasn't for the fact that the situation was dangerous, they might have already attacked Zhao Feng. They were the upper echelon of a 4-star power in the Great Gon Lord dynasty and the people behind the scenes, but Zhao Feng was using this chance to extort them? We're the upper echelon of the Grand Imperial Hall and the force behind the Great Gon Lord dynasty. What you're doing is a little inappropriate. The green-armored male suppressed the anger in his heart and said, "Sacred King Greenlight, let's take out some of the resources we just obtained." Sacred Lord Gonghuang immediately persuaded. After all, Zhao Feng and company were able to save their lives, so it was normal for them to take out some of their treasures. Furthermore, these non-humans weren't easy to deal with. "You humans are pretty interesting. You're still fighting amongst yourselves even when death is at hand." The translucent green female giggled. "Kill them all." The other foreign race Holy King, who wielded a giant axe, let out a loud roar and immediately attacked. At the same time, the other non-humans behind him smiled coldly and followed. "If you can help us defeat the non-humans, we're willing to give you 30% of what we just obtained." Sacred King Greenlight immediately said after seeing the Sacred King experts attack. The other early-stage Sacred Lord nodded his head, indicating that he had no objections. In fact, they didn't think that Zhao Feng and the others could help them solve this crisis. They only wanted to use Zhao Feng to buy time, because when they were being chased by the outsiders, they had already sent out a distress signal. 50%. Zhao Feng said directly. "You're courting death, ignorant human." Seeing that Zhao Feng and the others were still chatting with each other, the outsider with the huge axe grimaced. "All right, 50% it is." Sacred King Greenlight was furious, but he could only swallow it and agree to Zhao Feng's request. "Then let's go together." Zhao Feng saw that the other party agreed and said directly. If only Zhao Feng and company fought, even if Sacred King Greenlight handed over all his resources, Zhao Feng wouldn't help him. Go! Sacred King Green Light immediately shouted. Buzz! A golden white sword appeared in Sacred King Green Light's left hand, and it radiated a blinding light. Whoosh whoosh, the 6 humans rushed out at the same time. Boom! Nan Gongxing's purple and blood-colored sacred light clashed with the axe-wielding non-human male. At the same time, the other 5 clashed with the other non-human experts. That's the bloodline of the spiritual race. The transparent green non-human female instantly knew who Zhao Yufei was when she fought with Zhao Yufei. Zhao Yufei could summon the Heaven-Earth Yuan Qi with every movement and increase the power of her attacks. Spiritual Radiance Sacred Strike. Zhao Yufei's hand began to shine with an astonishing violet light. Afterward, a layer of resplendent violet light shot toward the jade-green Saint Ruler. On the other side, the battle between the axe-wielding non-human male and Nan Gongxing shook heaven and earth. The axe in the non-human Sacred King's hand radiated a dominating power that could suppress everything as it slashed out a giant shockwave. Nan Gongxing didn't back down. He circulated a wisp of the evil god's power and formed 2 evil claws that blocked the non-human Sacred King's attack. The power of the evil god. Nan Gongxing? The expression of the non-human male holding the axe turned to surprise as he recognized Nan Gongxing's identity. On the other hand, Zhao Feng started to fight with the other non-human sacred lords. This was the strategy that Zhao Feng and company had come up with a long time ago. When they met a group of sacred kings, Nan Gongxing and Zhao Yufei would stall the non-human sacred kings. Nan Gongxing had the power of the evil god and the golden pawn shield, so it was extremely easy for him to stall a sacred king. Zhao Yufei's battle power had also increased in the god corpse due to her spiritual race bloodline. Zhao Feng looked the weakest and was easily ignored, so he needed to quickly defeat the other sacred lords in the non-human group and turn the situation around. Of course, this strategy was only suitable when there were only 2 sacred kings in the non-human group. But even so, Zhao Feng and the others could only rely on this strategy to gain a certain advantage. It would still be difficult for them to defeat their opponents, unless Zhao Feng and the others took out some trump cards. Furthermore, if they encountered a foreign race team with more than 3 Saint Kings, or if the team's overall number and strength were very strong, they would not be able to escape. In that case, Zhao Feng and the others could only retreat with all their might. Sky-shattering sacred lightning palm. Zhao Feng merged the power of wind and lightning with the physical force lightning domain and struck out with a scarlet golden palm. Buzz buzz buzz. A mountainous golden-red lightning palm flashed with boundless lightning as it pushed forward. Moreover, Zhao Feng's palm strike had fused with the heavy pressure and power of the physical force lightning domain. Boom! A late-stage Mystic Light Realm Sacred Lord and an early-stage Mystic Light Realm Sacred Lord in front of Zhao Feng weren't able to block the peerless power of Zhao Feng's palm and were smashed into the crystal wall behind them. The early-stage non-human Sacred Lord was almost slapped to death by Zhao Feng's palm. Senior, were not his match. The other late-stage Sacred Lord had been injured and was slightly scared of Zhao Feng. How is this possible? Even that brat's strength is so strong? The translucent green non-human woman's face was filled with fear. The strength of the 3 Mystic Light Realm Sacred Lords in front of them had exceeded their expectations. So strong. Sacred King Green Light was surprised. He didn't expect Nan Gongxing and Zhao Yufei to have grown to such a level that they could stall sacred kings. Zhao Feng's strength wasn't to be underestimated either. From the looks of it, the 2 of them working together would be able to defeat the non-humans very easily. Great! Sacred Lord Gonghuang was overjoyed. Not even he could have imagined that Zhao Feng's group of 3 had gotten so strong. When they first met, Zhao Feng's strength was only on par with Sacred Lord Myriad Forms, and Nan Gongxing could only fight against Sacred Lord Sky Trampler. Clone! The 2 non-human Sacred Kings immediately released their clones to help the late-stage Sacred Lord fight against Zhao Feng. The clones of the 2 Sacred Kings had 50% of a Sacred King's battle power, and they were able to suppress Zhao Feng when they teamed up with the late-stage Sacred Lord. Sacred King Green Light, your clone? Sacred Lord Gonghuang asked in a hurry. My clone was severely injured just now and can't fight. Sacred King Green Light refused to help Zhao Feng. Wang, seeing that the situation wasn't good, Zhao Feng immediately released the projection of his little world of illusions to weaken the 3 non-human experts in front of him. 2 of the clones had weak consciousnesses, and they were greatly weakened in Zhao Feng's little world of illusions. On top of that, Zhao Feng's illusions were even stronger in the projection of his little world of illusions. Purple Star Confusion. Soul Confusion. Zhao Feng circulated his left eye and casually used some of the simple illusions that he had learned in the Ji family. Zhao Feng's talent in the Tao of illusions was actually much higher than his offensive eye bloodline techniques. He just didn't put in the effort to study them. Not good, that brat is very troublesome as well. The non-human Sacred King holding the giant axe felt that something was wrong. With the support of their clones, Zhao Feng was still able to fight with ease, and he was slowly gaining the upper hand. Furthermore, the battle power of the other 3 upper echelon members of the Grand Imperial Hall couldn't be ignored. Although Sacred King Green Light was severely injured, he still had the battle power of a late-stage Mystic Light realm. Retreat. The translucent green female immediately transmitted her voice to everyone. There was no need to fight to the death in an obviously disadvantageous situation. Bush. At the same time, all the non-humans started to escape. The humans didn't chase after them. Thank you, little friend Zhao Feng. Sacred Lord Gong Huang immediately thanked him. Zhao Feng gave a faint smile towards Sacred Lord Gong Huang before looking at Sacred King Green Light. Senior, please fulfill your promise from before. Zhao Feng's voice was emotionless. If the 2 upper echelon members of the Grand Imperial Hall had used their full strength, the battle would have ended even faster. However, Sacred King Green Light saw that the 2 non-human Sacred Kings had taken out their clones and didn't help. I, Sacred King Green Light, will fulfill my promise. Sacred King Green Light unwillingly handed over an interspatial ring. Sacred King Green Light was a sacred king, and he had a lot of power in the Grand Imperial Hall. He obviously wouldn't go back on his word. Zhao Feng took the interspatial ring and revealed a joyful expression after inspecting it. 43 precious spiritual materials, 16 substandard God crystals, and 3 true God crystals. Zhao Feng believed that Sacred King Green Light definitely didn't give him enough, but the resources exceeded Zhao Feng's expectations, so he didn't bother with Sacred King Green Light. Goodbye, everyone. Zhao Feng immediately said goodbye to Sacred King Green Light after the transaction was completed. Zhao Feng, Nen Gongxing, and Zhao Yufei then quickly left. Several powerful auras appeared behind Sacred King Green Light not long after Zhao Feng and company left. Sacred King Green Light, what happened? Are you injured? The newcomer was Sacred King Feather Spirit. He was nearby just now, and he immediately rushed over after receiving Sacred King Green Light's message for help. We met the non-humans, but we just met Zhao Feng's group. We teamed up and defeated the non-humans. Sacred King Green Light sighed. If Sacred King Feather Spirit had arrived earlier, he wouldn't have been blackmailed by these juniors. What? Zhao Feng? Sacred King Feather Spirit's expression shook as joy appeared on his face. Next to him, Saint King Shihai's eyes also flashed. Brother Green Light, where did Zhao Feng go? Tell me. Sacred King Feather Spirit had an excited expression. Brother Feather Spirit, why are you looking for Zhao Feng? Sacred King Green Light was very surprised when he saw Sacred King Feather Spirit's expression. Brother Green Light, you might not know this, but Zhao Feng is the beast that killed the 13th prince of the Great Zhou Imperials, and he once attacked the upper echelon of the Grand Imperial Hall. Sacred King Feather Spirit said. Of course, he completely ignored the fact that he was heavily injured by Zhao Feng. This junior is so despicable. He also took the chance to extort the precious resources I obtained from the God Corpse. I'll go with Brother Feather Spirit to capture this brat. Sacred King Green Light's expression shook, and he was even happier than Sacred King Feather Spirit. Chapter 1084. I didn't expect this brat to be so despicable. He also took the chance to extort the precious resources I obtained from the God Corpse. I'll go with Brother Feather Spirit to capture this brat. Sacred King Greenlight's expression shook, and he was even happier than Sacred King Feather Spirit. Senior Feather Spirit, how could Zhao Feng be the killer of the 13th prince? Sacred Lord Gonghuang was surprised. Back then, the Lan Province War Hall and Imperials had come to the 9th prince's stronghold to investigate and confirmed that it was impossible for Zhao Feng to kill the 13th prince. However, Sacred King Feather Spirit was now saying that Zhao Feng was the killer of the 13th prince. He couldn't understand this at all. Furthermore, Sacred King Greenlight's current actions made him feel disgusted. Zhao Feng and company had helped them, and Sacred King Greenlight had handed over his resources, but now he was planning to take them back. However, both of them were Mystic Light Realm Sacred Kings and had a lot of power in the Grand Imperial Hall. They weren't people that Sacred Lord Gonghuang could offend. You're questioning the results of my investigation? Sacred King Feather Spirit's eyebrows furrowed as he stared at Sacred Lord Gonghuang. The laws of heaven and earth instantly locked onto Sacred Lord Gonghuang. Sacred Lord Gonghuang's bloodline and sacred power were suppressed to the limit. It was as if he was a lamb waiting to be slaughtered. This was the difference between an early-stage Mystic Light Realm and a Sacred King. Sacred Lord Gonghuang was extremely insignificant in front of Sacred King Feather Spirit. Furthermore, Sacred King Feather Spirit was an extremely powerful and ancient existence amongst the Sacred Kings. I'll go with the 3 seniors. The other early-stage Sacred Lord in Sacred King Greenlight's group immediately said. From his point of view, there was no way that Zhao Feng would be able to escape from the 3 Sacred Lords. He also wanted to continue exploring the God Corpse, so following the 3 Sacred Kings was undoubtedly safer. Brother Feather Spirit, let's go. They just went this way. Sacred King Greenlight ate some healing medicine and said, let's go. Sacred King Feather Spirit's group then teamed up with Sacred King Greenlight's group, and the 7 Mystic Light Realm experts chased after Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng, there's nothing I can do. Sacred Lord Gonghuang sighed. Now that he had left the group and was alone, he naturally didn't dare to stay in the God Corpse any longer. Furthermore, he had gained a lot from this trip, so Sacred Lord Gonghuang decided to leave this place. Sacred Lord Gonghuang used his memories to return the way he came. Somewhere else in the God Corpse. Zhao Feng and the others walked through the complicated crystal walls. We should have arrived at the center of the immortal corpse. Zhao Feng said slowly. Along the way, they could see precious herbs everywhere. The crystalline walls grew brighter, flickering with a white crystalline luster. Brother Feng, behind, Zhao Yufei seemed to sense something. Hearing this, a faint golden ripple appeared on Zhao Feng's left eye as he scanned the area behind him. Not good, let's go. Zhao Feng said immediately. What's the situation? Nan Gongxing was puzzled. Sacred King Greenlight and the other 2 Sacred Kings from the Grand Imperial Hall are here. Zhao Feng said in a simple tone. He was certain that the 7 Mystic Light Realm experts behind him were here to deal with him because Sacred King Feather Spirit was one of them. If it was just Sacred King Feather Spirit alone, Zhao Feng wouldn't be scared. However, there were a total of 7 people in the group chasing after him, and 3 of them were Sacred Kings. With Zhao Yufei and Nan Gongxing's strength, they could only stall 1 Sacred King each. Since there were so many of them, Zhao Feng could only run. Nan Gongxing knew that something was wrong when he heard this. He also trusted Zhao Feng's judgment. The trio immediately used secret techniques to escape and quickly passed through the crystal walls. They didn't bother with the small fortune they encountered along the way. Not far away, I can feel the disturbance of their sacred power. It's over here. The eyes of the blue-haired Sacred King Shihai flashed as he charged out. The 3 Sacred Kings circulated their intent and covered the entire group, causing everyone's speed to be the same and reach a shocking speed. Brother Feng, they're getting closer and closer. Zhao Yufei had an anxious expression as she sensed the movement of the Heaven-Earth Yuan Qi behind them. In Zhao Feng's group, Zhao Feng was the fastest. If he used the Lightning Wings spatial flash, he could even surpass normal Sacred Kings. Nan Gongxing was next, and Zhao Yufei was last. However, Zhao Feng couldn't just leave Nan Gongxing and Zhao Yufei behind. Furthermore, Zhao Feng could also let Nan Gongxing and Zhao Yufei enter the misty spatial world. He would have a higher chance of escaping by himself. However, the misty spatial world contained many of Zhao Feng's secrets, so Zhao Feng didn't feel safe letting Nan Gongxing enter. After all, Nan Gongxing's mind and rationality had been greatly twisted. "Brother Feng, should we use the misty spatial world to leave?" Zhao Yufei said with slight guilt. Zhao Feng immediately rejected it. Zhao Feng had only left spatial coordinates at the place where they had entered. If they used the misty spatial world to leave, they would return to the starting point. The three of them had spent a lot of time before arriving at the center of the god corpse. "Where are you going?" Sacred King Feather Spirit's voice sounded from behind. A powerful, magnificent power swept toward Zhao Feng and company like a tsunami. Zhao Feng and company already knew each other, and they immediately released their little world projections. 3 extremely powerful little world projections appeared behind Zhao Feng and company and blocked the magnificent power of the 3 sacred kings. "This brat has another little world?" Sacred King Greenlight was stunned as he looked at the little world projection of wind lightning that Zhao Feng released. He remembered that in the battle just now, Zhao Feng had used another little world projection of the Tao of Illusions. Furthermore, the power of Zhao Feng's little world of wind lightning was also very strong. So what if your little world is strong? If your intent isn't strong enough, you won't be able to unleash the full power of your little world. Sacred King Feather's spirit laughed mockingly. Immediately, the 3 saint rulers released the projection of their miniature worlds at the same time. The 3 sacred kings were very strong, and they instantly merged the power of their little world projections together to form a condensed spatial power that crushed everything in its path. Boom! The invisible collision of the little worlds caused heaven and earth to twist. Although Zhao Feng and company's little worlds were strong, it was just as Sacred King Feather Spirit had said, their intents weren't strong enough, so they couldn't compare to the 3 sacred kings in terms of usage of their little worlds. However, Zhao Feng and company used this force to increase their speed. At the same time, a jade-green dot of light appeared in Zhao Feng's hand. It was the cloud silkworm Saint Butterfly. A strong surge of sacred power started to gather within the cloud silkworm Saint Butterfly's body. The cloud silkworm Saint Butterfly released dream pollen and cloud silkworm Saint Silk at the same time. The path behind Zhao Feng was instantly filled with multicolored light and pollen. After doing this, Zhao Feng put away the cloud silkworm Saint Butterfly and told Sacred Lord Myriad Forms, who was hiding in the misty spatial world, to come out. Myriad Forms' world of wind lightning. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms' eyes focused as he changed the elements of nature, heaven and earth, and intent. Limitless intent of wind lightning instantly filled the surroundings. The element of wind lightning was extremely pure, and it was extremely easy to control. Zhao Feng controlled the projection of his little world of wind lightning and merged a large amount of intent of wind lightning into his body. The scarlet wings of lightning behind Zhao Feng's back suddenly flashed with a blinding light as limitless intent of wind lightning surrounded Zhao Feng. "Let's go!" Zhao Feng circulated the power of wind lightning and swept up Zhao Yufei, Nan Gongxing, and Sacred Lord Myriad Forms before disappearing into the tunnel. What a great support! Zhao Feng couldn't help but praise. The eyes of Myriad Forms were just too useful. At this moment, Zhao Feng's entire group was using Zhao Feng's speed to escape. However, if Zhao Feng didn't use the Lightning Wings spatial flash, his speed wouldn't be faster than a Sacred King's. However, Zhao Feng's Lightning Wings spatial flash was a single-target spatial technique, and it didn't seem like he could use it with other people. Furthermore, the terrain here was extremely complicated, and there was the interference of the aura of gods. Not only was a spatial technique like the Lightning Wings spatial flash restricted, but it was also impossible to use. Boom! The group of 3 sacred kings broke through the layer of cloud silkworm Saint Silk and dream pollen. "That's Sacred Lord Myriad Forms." A sacred king in the group exclaimed. "Zhao Feng, you're working with non-humans?" Sacred King Feather's spirit roared in anger. Everyone from the Grand Imperial Hall saw Sacred Lord Myriad Forms come out to help Zhao Feng. "Chase after him." Sacred King Green Light had an ugly expression. If they were left behind by Zhao Feng just like that, what face would the three Sacred Kings have left? Furthermore, even if the eyes of myriad forms helped Zhao Feng and company, they wouldn't be able to escape. The three great holy kings circulated their mighty power and swept up the entire team as they gave chase. Interfere, Zhao Feng said to Sacred Lord Myriad Forms. Understood, Master. The rainbow-colored light in Sacred Lord Myriad Form's eyes started to spin. In a flash, the wind lightning energy behind Zhao Feng's group transformed into earth elemental energy. Boom, boom. The speed of the group of three Sacred Kings slowed down. Among the three Sacred Kings, some specialized in the laws of wind, some specialized in the laws of water, but none specialized in the laws of earth. However, Sacred Lord Myriad Form's cultivation was too low. The three Sacred Kings burned a wisp of mystic light sacred power and ignored this resistance. Master, my cultivation is too low. I can't stop them. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms said to Zhao Feng. Why are these fellows chasing after us? Nan Gongxing had an ugly expression as killing intent filled his face. He really wanted to charge out and kill them all. However, he knew that he wasn't a match for the people behind him. Zhao Feng let out a dry cough. Sacred King Feather Spirit and the blue-haired Sacred King seemed to only be chasing after Zhao Feng. This meant that Zhao Feng had dragged down Zhao Yufei and Nan Gongxing. Sacred King Feather Spirit, are you sure you want to keep chasing after us? Zhao Feng asked in a loud voice. Wasting time in the God Corpse to chase after the other party was undoubtedly a foolish choice. You dare to assassinate a prince and insult me? You have nowhere to run. Sacred King Feather Spirit hesitated for a moment before saying. The three of them had chased after them for so long. If they gave up just like that, they would become a joke. Then don't blame me. Zhao Feng's tone turned cold as killing intent radiated from him. Shua. A silver bow and a dark golden arrow appeared in Zhao Feng's hands. Zhao Feng knocked the substandard god-slaying arrow onto the sky-locking bow and pulled the bowstring. A terrifying dark golden divine radiance radiated from it, and the shadow of a divine arrow that was hundreds of meters long gradually spread out. A soul-piercing power instantly charged toward the 7 mystic light realm experts behind them. God-slaying arrow? Sacred King Feather Spirit was shocked when he saw the arrow that Zhao Feng took out. The 3 Saint Kings immediately stopped, their hearts palpitating with fear. The other Sacred Lords had weaker resistance, and they felt as if their souls had been pierced through, causing piercing pain. When they heard Sacred King Feather Spirit say the words, God-slaying arrow, their legs went soft, and their faces went pale white with fear. Chapter 1085. No, that's not a god-slaying arrow. Sacred King Feather Spirit shook his head and said after feeling the power of the arrow. They had all seen the true god-slaying arrow when Demigod Dragon Emperor fought against the Black Serpent Dragon. Its power was enough to destroy heaven and earth, and no one below the demigod realm would be able to survive it. At this moment, the arrow that Zhao Feng took out didn't pose much of a threat to Sacred King Feather Spirit. Damn brat, you're trying to scare us? Sacred King Green Light cursed. The mystic light realm sacred lords behind the 3 Sacred Kings let out a breath when they heard this. Where did this brat get a replica god-slaying arrow? Sacred King Shihai asked. From the looks of it, the replica god-slaying arrow in Zhao Feng's hand wasn't weak. Which blacksmith in the Great Gon Lord dynasty could forge a weapon of such quality? Right at this moment, Zhao Feng released the bowstring. A giant dark golden arrow pierced through everything, dragging a terrifying dark golden energy storm behind it as it flew out. Defend! Sacred King Feather Spirit's expression became solemn as he said with certainty. The other 2 Sacred Kings immediately circulated their true yuan and released the projection of their little worlds. The space within the crystal passageway was very small, and the mystic light realm experts had nowhere to hide unless they retreated. However, the crystal walls could block divine senses, and the passageway was very complicated. If they retreated, Zhao Feng might use this chance to escape, and it would be even more difficult for them to find Zhao Feng. Most importantly, the distance between Zhao Feng and them was extremely short, and this increased the power of the god-slaying arrow. However, the three sacred kings believed that it wouldn't be a problem for them to block the power of the god-slaying arrow if they put all their strength into defending. 1. The three saint kings merged the power of the projection of their small worlds and formed a dark blue defensive space. The three sacred kings all used defensive secret techniques within the dimension and created layers of defense. Boom! A giant dark golden arrow pierced through everyone, and a terrifying storm of metal and lightning exploded. Cracks started to appear on the crystal walls. Not good, this god-slaying arrow mainly focuses on the soul. At this moment, Sacred King Feather's spirit realized that something was wrong. Although divine power attacks could penetrate the material and soul planes, if the attack focused on the soul plane, the effect of the attack would definitely be different. What a terrifying power of lightning tribulation! How can this kid possess the power of lightning tribulation? Sacred King Greenlight was already severely injured. Among the three of them, he was the first to succumb. Although the three sacred kings were able to block most of the power of the imitation god-slaying arrow, soul attacks had the ability to penetrate. The sacred lords in the back were also affected, and their souls were hit by a sharp metal elemental attack and the power of god tribulation lightning. After the aftermath of the explosion dissipated, the three saint kings looked embarrassed. Sacred King Greenlight had the heaviest injuries. He was already severely injured, and now he was even more injured. He was extremely weak. The one with the lightest injuries was Saint King Shihai. He was more proficient in the soul domain and had greater resistance, but he could not withstand the power of the thunder calamity and the explosion of the metallic energy. Damn it! I've been tricked by that kid. Sacred King Feather's spirit cursed. At the start, they were scared when Zhao Feng took out the imitation god-slaying arrow, so they weren't able to determine the offensive element of the god-slaying arrow immediately. However, the power of this imitation god-slaying arrow had also exceeded their expectations. The three sacred kings knew that they couldn't catch up to Zhao Feng, so they sat down and started to recover from their injuries. Let's not chase after that brat for now. There are many fortunes in the god corpse, so we can't waste all our time on him. Sacred King Feather's spirit suggested. After all, he was the one who wanted to kill Zhao Feng at the start. Everyone else nodded their heads in agreement. However, if I meet him again, I will tear him into 10,000 pieces. Sacred King Feather's spirit had a grim expression as he gritted his teeth and said, Elsewhere in the god corpse, when Zhao Feng shot out the imitation god-slaying arrow, he retreated with Nan Gongsheng and Zhao Yufei. On top of that, he ordered the eyes of myriad forms to change the element of the Yuan Qi in the air and erase the aura of intent left behind by Zhao Feng and company. Zhao Feng knew that it was impossible for the imitation god-slaying arrow to stop three sacred king experts, but it was even more impossible for Zhao Feng to take out the real god-slaying arrow that could save his life. One had to know that Zhao Feng had enemies at the demigod realm. Therefore, Zhao Feng had poured all of his god tribulation lightning symbols into the imitation god-slaying arrow just now. On top of that, Zhao Feng was able to control the imitation god-slaying arrow even better, and he was able to use more of its power than normal. Let's rest for a while, Zhao Feng said after completely escaping from the pursuit of the three sacred kings. Zhao Feng needed to recover his god tribulation lightning symbols as soon as possible, or else his soul attacks would lose their advantage, and the strength of the group would decrease dramatically. Sure. Nan Gongsheng and Zhao Yufei immediately agreed. After all, Zhao Feng had saved them this time. Furthermore, if Zhao Feng wasn't at his peak state, they wouldn't be able to deal with the dangers within the god corpse. Zhao Feng took out some soul-specific resources from the misty spatial world. Some of them were given to him by Sacred King Greenlight. Zhao Feng took all of the soul-specific resources and left the rest for Nan Gongsheng and Zhao Yufei. Zhao Feng picked out the resources that were the most useful to him and placed them into the dimension of his left eye to duplicate them. Zhao Feng then ate a few more resources and started to circulate the Soul Recovery Divine Technique. Zhao Feng's Soul Recovery Divine Technique had reached the max level, and Zhao Feng's soul defense and recovery ability had increased dramatically. Zhao Feng's soul was a lightning soul body, so the God Tribulation lightning symbols had merged with his soul and could be considered a part of Zhao Feng's soul. Therefore, circulating the soul recovery divine technique was beneficial to the recovery of the God Tribulation lightning symbols. At this moment, Zhao Feng could feel how beneficial the soul recovery divine technique was to him. Of course, while recovering the God Tribulation lightning symbols, Zhao Feng still circulated the 10,000 divine thoughts technique to multitask. A substandard God crystal appeared in Zhao Feng's hand along with other wind, lightning, and earth resources. Zhao Feng's 5 elemental wind lightning technique had completely consolidated its foundation. Adding on the fact that Zhao Feng had been using substandard God crystals and the blood crystals from the God corpse, Zhao Feng's earth of wind lightning was about to reach the late stages. At the same time, the blood crystals from the God corpse were also very beneficial to one's state of existence. While Zhao Feng was cultivating, he also observed Nan Gongxing and Zhao Yufei. A purple and blood-colored figure radiating a wicked aura formed in Nan Gongxing's little world. Nan Gongxing seems to be creating a clone. Zhao Feng saw the situation through the cover of Nan Gongxing's little world. With Nan Gongxing's cultivation, he could have created a clone a long time ago, but he had been busy increasing his strength and consolidating his cultivation. On the other side, Zhao Yufei was still condensing her mystic light sacred power and occasionally using some resources to comprehend the intent of heaven and earth. The advantage of the spiritual race was their source of power. Although Zhao Yufei was only at the early stages of the mystic light realm, her mystic light sacred power was comparable to a sacred king. If her mystic light sacred power was strong enough, the defense of her spiritual race bloodline would be even stronger. One day later, Zhao Feng opened his eyes. Let's go. Although the trio had obtained a lot and needed to enter seclusion to comprehend, time was precious in the God corpse. However, time was precious in the God corpse, and they couldn't afford to cultivate here. Although Zhao Feng's God Tribulation lightning symbols hadn't fully recovered after one day, they had almost fully recovered. Zhao Yufei and Nan Gongxing unwillingly ended their seclusion. Meow meow. The little thieving cat stood on Zhao Feng's shoulder and threw out a few coins before waving its paws and pointing in a certain direction. Brother Feng, I also feel a strong disturbance of Yuan Qi in that direction. Zhao Yufei said with a smile. Bush, 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 bush. The trio moved out once more and sped through the crystal passageway. They had now arrived at the center of the God corpse. Some areas and crystal walls were extremely tough and hard to destroy, so there weren't many fortuitous encounters. However, once they did find one, it would be even more tempting than the outer regions. Perhaps there was a fortune that many sacred kings and demigods dreamed of breaking through to the heavenly divine realm. The disturbance of Yuan Qi is becoming stronger and stronger. Zhao Yufei was certain that they hadn't chosen the wrong target. After passing through countless narrow passageways, the area in front of them suddenly became wider. They seemed to arrive in another world, and they felt a weird power spread across heaven and earth. There was a faint red crystal at the center of this world. One couldn't see the end of it. Below this enormous crystal object, there were many foreign races and humans. Among them, there were even demigod-level powerhouses. This should be the organs of the God corpse. Zhao Feng extended his vision to the limit and used his see-through ability to come to a conclusion. Let's go. The trio headed toward the group of humans in the distance. Under that incomparably huge crystal were two groups of people, one human and the other non-human kind. The demigod leading the non-humans was Demigod Arcane Void of the Dark Capital Cult, and the human demigod was Demigod Withered Breath, the Grand Elder of Sky's Suspension Palace. All in all, the humans were slightly stronger. However, even then, the humans would have to pay a heavy price if they wanted to wipe out the non-humans here. Furthermore, the most important thing right now was to find the fortune within the God corpse. Another group is coming. It's a human group. Many human sacred lords below the crystal said happily when they saw Zhao Feng and company arrive. However, when they saw Zhao Feng and company clearly and sensed their strength, they shook their heads. On the other hand, Demigod Withered Breath, who looked like an old tree, glanced at Zhao Feng and company. Zhao Feng and company approached in a low-key manner and didn't care about anything else. The closer they got, the more Zhao Feng felt a desolate and ancient soul intent seep into his soul. There's a very strong soul intent aura inside. Zhao Feng looked at the crystal in the distance with a joyful expression. Zhao Feng's group of 3 slowly approached and sat cross-legged beneath the massive red crystal, feeling the wondrous intent energy within. The other humans and outsiders here were all using this power to strengthen their souls and wills. What's inside? Zhao Feng inspected the giant crystal in front of him. There were many large cracks on the surface of the crystal between the 2 groups, and they were extending in every direction. Wisps of faint red soul aura radiated from the cracks. The closer they got to the crystal, the more they could feel the power of the intent. At a certain moment, a faint golden ripple spread across Zhao Feng's left eye. Zhao Feng's gaze passed through the crystal and reached into it. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.